What you know about me? I seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I done it all, just want it all. Oh, what you know about me? I seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? Oh, what you know about me? Oh, what you know about me?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of More Than the Title. I'm your host as usual, Jarrett Thomas, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital. And you know I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO's favorite CEO. Damn, I had it.
Listen, you was batting 100 for a while, kid.
I had it. Damn you. Sorry, audio listeners.
It's your military left.
What's good though, Brody?
You already know, man. Listen, man. You know the motto, man. With each breath I breathe is another chance to succeed, man. Life, get ready, man. We'll kick your ass today, man. We gonna fuck that, man.
That's what we doing, man. Life
That's
be
it.
life, and man, you
Life
know what? And we go through the fire every single day,
fact,
man. That's what we going to do, and we ain't never going to stop. So, and
Great.
before we kick off this great
Yeah.
Women's Month episode of More Than a Title, shout
Right.
out to y'all, the subscribers, the listeners, the followers across every single platform from Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Yo, we are well over millions of views, and it's because of y'all, man. Like we said, when life be life, and it's y'all support that keeps us going, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's 70 degrees outside, man. City Island type of day. So throw chair weather day. You know what I'm saying? And we here, we doing what we need to do because this is what's more important. This is what it's about.
Tell him what happened to you. Tell him what happened to you the other day, man. Oh, matter of fact, tell him what happened to you this morning, man. That message that you got. Tell him the message that you got.
Which one? We got so many messages, bro.
From the little homie from the hood, man.
Oh yeah, nah, from the bros, man.
No, yeah,
Straight up, man. I got a few messages. First of all, we got a lot of messages from Zoe, man. Zoe's episode on Tuesday was amazing. If you're not familiar with her, she's the director, filmmaker, writer, artist of a whole hit web series, Juicy, man. She's amazing. Make sure y'all tap in with her. But I just got a text message randomly from one of the bros, man, from ECG, man. He was just like, yo, look, I don't like everything. I don't share everything, bro. I know we don't talk every day. Just know I love you, man. And just know I see what you guys are doing and you inspiring me. And it's those messages like that keep us going, man, because this is what it's about. We more than titles, man. No matter where we from. And this is what it is. We're going to tell our story. We all have a voice.
Metrics that I love right there.
That's it. You can't put an ROI on that.
Right there. You can't put no ROI on that, man. You probably changed that young brother's life, man. And we're going to let it be known, man.
That's a fact, though. That's a fact. And also, man, shout out to a live podcast network. First women-owned, black-owned podcast network in the world. So if you want more content from black content creators, such as More Than a Title, make sure y'all download the app. Make sure y'all support your favorite creators. And make sure you enjoy the content, man. Shout out to Angel, the entire Alive Podcast Network team. You know we love y'all.
Yeah, word up, man. Shout out to Angel and the team, man. They over there working real hard, man. Real hard. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell y'all.
I had to give you the real hard. I didn't like the tone on the real hard.
It's one of them days, man. I got listen. I'm gonna take a sip. Listen, it's gonna be one of them episodes, so I take it out the gate. I take it. That was crazy.
That was wild. Hold
on. I said that shit. And that was wild.
The tone and it was just so it flowed. And with that said,
Let's start the show.
we're gonna celebrate this queen right here. I've had the pleasure of working with this queen and seeing her brilliance firsthand. But she has 20 years of product and technology experience within both the e-commerce, retail, and SaaS space. Throughout her career, she's been an engineer, a UX designer, producer, and a product manager. She's also worked and helped implement tech at big brands such as Macy's, Bloomingdale's, Mailchimp, and was most recently the chief technology officer at social media management giant Hootsuite. She's a powerhouse in the tech field and goes by the mantra, building good products requires a build, measure, and learn mindset. Let's give it up for one of the queens, one of our queens in the tech space, Miss Natalia Williams, baby. Yeah.
Thank you, Jarrett. Thank you, Chadeo. Thanks for having me here. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna have my little. I'm living my.
Hey, we don't mind.
Where my dogs at?
Excuse me.
Right here, dog.
For anybody that can't see the show because you're listening to it audibly, we are a pet-friendly show.
Absolutely.
We are a pet-friendly show. You are not the first to have me.
Wait till we get Scooby on this motherfucker. Wait till we get Scooby. We're going to get Scooby in this motherfucker.
Absolutely. Welcome to the show, Queen. We are excited to have you
I'm excited to be here. I am. Yeah, let's get real. For real. I'm excited.
Oh, this is about to be one of them. Y'all, oh, hold on. Where's the bell? Where's the bell? We gonna go first period already. First period right out the gate. So for the audio listeners, for the listeners right now, so what we like to do, sis, we like to take people on the journey from where you started to where you are today to give people a good understanding of who you are as a person. So if you want to, sis, let's start at the beginning. Let's talk about it, like your upbringing and how you got into tech and and some of your influences early.
Yeah, sure. So I am from a Jamaican family. I'd be remiss if I don't mention that. And my parents came here in the late 60s, early 70s and built a life for themselves. I am originally from New York. I am from Springfield Gardens.
Queens.
Get the money.
Queens get the money.
Exactly. Know about Brookville Park, hanging out at night. And I always have loved STEM. So anything science, technology, math, that's been me and my parents. Luckily, even though they didn't even have a high school education, knew that there was greatness in me. So I'm always eternally grateful for them for that. And they put me in any program that would take me. So they were like, she's gifted, put her in a program. And that opened so many opportunities for me. So the reason I got to go to private school was because of them and then pushing me into like, take this test, get in this gifted class, go do this thing. And so, in junior high school, I won a scholarship to high school. I actually finished high school in Atlanta. So I'm both ATL and NYC. And I was in a program called A Better Chance. If anybody is listening, please look them up. Please get your kids enrolled in A Better Chance. They give your kids the opportunity to get the best education possible.
Hold on, let's not run past that. Is it abetterchance.com? Because we're actually going to put
the link up. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, .org. It's abetterchance.org. Okay. There's one out of New York called Prep for Prep. I had a lot of friends in Prep for Prep. So PREP, the number 4, PREP.org.
Perfect.
And then
one more time. I'm sorry, Natalia.
Yeah.
Prep for Prep.
Prep for Prep.
Okay.
With the number 4 instead of 4.
Got you. I got you. Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. And then the last one is Jack and Jill. If you know anybody in Jack and Jill, they could get you into Jack and Jill. Do it. Do it.
Jack and Jill, I've heard of that.
Because it's a lot more about the connections you make, the things you learn in moving in circles like that. Like, I come from a poor household. Like, they did their best, but I didn't get into spaces and rooms. And A Better Chance, Prep for Prep, Jack and Jill allows you to enter those spaces. And that was so helpful for me in going to college and then getting my first job and just knowing how to move.
Yeah.
And so
hold on, Natalia, is that Jack and Jill of America?
Yeah.
Perfect. Just want to make sure we're pulling up the right ones. Jack and Jill of America. Okay, we got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for me, I've been involved in Black Girls Code. I'm living my rich auntie life right now, so I'm gonna get
message. It's been a journey.
So I'm trying to get involved in more nonprofits and give back, just because, like, when you're from a poor family, you don't know what you don't know. And so it's so important for us who have made it out of that, generational poverty to give back, right? So
message. It is.
Real. That's real.
I want to just hold you right there because I don't want to get past it too much. You know what I'm saying? For anybody that's watching, I'm gonna go ahead and present this so that you guys can see exactly what she's talking about really quick. This first screen right here, that's A Better Chance, right?
Yep.
So this is their website, right? You guys could go ahead, abetterchance.org, right? And it's telling you that their applications are live, right? So anybody looking for an opportunity for their child, go ahead and check out A Better Chance. Also, Prep for Prep, right? Same thing, right? This is the Prep for Prep website, right? Go ahead and go and check it out, right? Look at it. These are all opportunities, right? All opportunities. And the last one, Jack and Jill, right? Jack and Jill Incorporated, right? Go ahead and check it out, man, because This is the stuff that we're talking about when we talk about people gatekeeping, right? She's giving you the source right now. Now we're giving you the information. You can't say that you didn't know about these programs, because a lot of people reach out to us, say, but we don't know where to go. We don't know where to get the help from. So we've given you the information. At the end of the show, we will put the links up and we will share it for anybody that missed it, because that is very important information for the youth.
Yeah, and there was a lot of lessons in what you just said too, sis.
Absolutely.
Right, from us coming from the bottom, we're from the mud. Same thing, sis. Like I came from a middle class family. Mom's was assistant principal. Pops worked 2 jobs for 27 years to put me through the private school and to do all of those things, right? But the fact that your parents poured into you, right? They knew it was like, look, this is my situation, but I'd be damned if it has any effect on my children, and I'm gonna expose them to different people, different opportunities, different places, different surroundings. I've got friends right now, sis, that's still on the block from 40 years old. I've never seen them in Manhattan, let alone another state, a country, or something like that. And that's how it boxes in your mind, where you just feel like this is all that's here. It's just this, and it's so much more than life than just what we see, y'all. For real shit.
It's true. And I don't have kids, but I can use my own experience. My parents always told me that I was smart. I could do anything that I wanted to. That's so important for for kids to know that they could do it, just because you also don't see it a lot. So it's even more important for us to instill that confidence in in kids coming up, that you are smart, you are talented, you can do this. It's so important. It's I still use it today. I'm like a 40-year-old woman. It still rings in my mind, right? So I think that's so important.
Something funny about that. What they don't tell these newer generations is the newer generations technically grow up smarter, faster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
They grow up smarter, faster. They learn information. The way they intake information is so much faster. They can intake so much. The newer generations, like bigger, stronger, fast. We get better with time. Right? So absolutely, these new generations, man, the world is yours, but you have to have the resources available to you so that you can maximize your talent. Because if you don't maximize your talent, one, then you'll waste it. Number two, if somebody's not in support of you, like Natalia said her family is, you won't even know that what you have is a talent, because you'll be put down so much that you'll just think what you have is regular, or like how do you say, like what's the word when you like artists and stuff, when they say like, oh, that's not a real job, you know what I'm talking about, like, that's not, you know what I mean? They won't encourage you, right? That's what I'm saying. They won't encourage you, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of things that you might be very successful at, it'll end up going down the drain because you don't
but having that foresight, bro. Like sometimes parents, especially where we come from, don't know how to nurture that talent.
Exactly.
Right? Because how would you know a prep for preppers around? Like you said, what if those are our people, right? And then back then it was less resources. Yeah. So the fact that they went out of their way to find those resources and to make sure you was in it, like, that's real, man. Shout out to mom and pops, man. Straight up and down. They get a double horn on that.
A lot of that's why the community center in everybody's community is so important, because 9 times out of 10, it's the community centers that have access to the programs. It's the community centers, right? Remember, Jarrett, like Forest, where all the programs, all of the politicians come, everybody comes to the community center because they know that's the place to bring the information so it can be disseminated. So we have to get these community centers back up and running and make them prominent, right? So that when we're looking for help, we can go to the community center, talk to a director, and they can say, hey, these are the programs we have available. And most of them are for free.
Yeah. And sis, like being that because you just had like a love for technology, right? You had that early STEM was a big thing. Yeah. So let's just talk about the importance of STEM, because I feel like our children, we see, we want to be celebrities, want to be rappers, we want to be fucking influencers, we want to be all these other things that the success rate is so minimal, when you could be in STEM and build $1 billion product and you would make more money than these celebrities, influencers, all this stuff. So
I'm gonna drop this real quick. We could talk about this later, but I was a part of the biggest bootstrap exit ever in technology history. It's $12 billion.
Woo! I need a horn for this.
Wait, wasn't ready for that, sis. Woo! You gonna be dropping that? Woo!
That's a lot. That's a lot of zeros.
Exit in tech, y'all. $12 billion.
It's not my 12.
It's a lot of zeros. A lot of zeros.
It's not all mine. It's not mine. I wish, but what you're right. Like that is such an opportunity. You get more from an exit than you do from just working the same job. Like you gotta be smart. And I learned this late in life, so I'm telling people now, like, be smart about your moves. Know that success isn't linear. You're gonna hear that from me. Like, I have had plenty of downtime. Success is not linear. And that's okay, right? Because one door closes, another door opens. But I think it's really important, to your point, with kids to also, and this is a little controversial because especially in the Black community, especially in the Caribbean community, we tell kids to shut up and be quiet. Yeah. But my parents used to call me inquisitive. I was a nosy ass little kid. Like, I would you'd be reading something, I want to know what you're reading, what it's about, blah, blah, blah. And my mom would be like, go sit down. But my dad would pull me aside and be like, hey, yo, it's good you're inquisitive. Like, this isn't the right time. But that's a good skill to have. And that's how I found a better chance to call my mom, right? Because it's important. We tell our kids too much to shut up and be quiet, when really that skill of being, I hate to say nosy, but like curious, that's a better word. Yeah. Curious. Like, you should nurture that. That's something that will take a kid far. Like, it's taken me this far. And I'm still nosy, but like
let's put some content on it now. Let's put some content on it. If a child, and I'm just speaking in general, right? I'm saying in general, right? If a child came to a parent or somebody looked up to and asked a question that was thought-provoking or something like that, I couldn't see any adult saying, shut up and sit down. Mm-hmm. It's just the rambling of the nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're asking, like, hey, what's that book about? Or, hey, what are you doing? And you're showing a genuine interest to learn, that's one thing. A lot of these kids, that it's not even nosy. It's just like, you're just a pain in the fucking ass. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't know what to do with yourself and your energy, you want to bother me. That's when you get told mostly, like, please go fucking do something with yourself.
You get the screaming baby.
All right. That is true. I was, my mom would be like, go read a book.
Yeah.
Read a book. Go write me a book report about that book. And I would do it. Right? I would go do it. So, Chadeo, you were so right. My little niece, she is 9. She'd be asking all the questions. And her mom would be like, can you not? And I'm like, just bring her over here. Me and her will talk. We'll have a good time. She's so smart. But you're right. Like, channel that energy. Channel it into something productive. Like, yeah. But yeah, so
12 Billy exit. We was at the 12 Billy exits.
A lot of zeros.
Woo! I love that.
Oh man, I'm trying to find my next exit.
That's it.
Find my next exit. So after college, my first career move was in tech. So I was actually an engineer. That was my first job. I used to do front end for a startup. The startup was real interesting, way ahead of its time. We're talking about like around the 2000s to 2002. And I got a note when I came in, you don't have a job anymore. Here's your last 2 weeks, because they had sold the company. And so I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna find my next job. But I don't think I want to do this anymore, because engineering is for people with a certain mindset. And I always am, I'm always in awe of those people. Like, writing code is no joke. And like, when you forget syntax and your code doesn't work for 8 hours and you don't know what, like, I was like, I like technology, but I don't want to do this. So the next
note, like a note, not a pink slip, just like on a sticky note.
Mm-hmm.
Damn!
That's
disrespectful.
I know, it's so disrespectful.
That's what they do, man. And for those listening too, for those who are curious what front end is, right? Yeah. Front end design on the website is the things that you see and interact with on the website, right? Yep. So back end would be more of the coding and things like that to make that appear, but she's actually designing what the user sees.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So let me give also a little bit of context. So when she's talking about engineering, then it would have to be either a hardware engineer or a software engineer, because there's a bunch of different types of engineering. Yeah. When we're talking about computers, there's 2 types of things on the computer. It's the software that runs the computer and the hardware that you use to build the computer around, right? So that's the engineering that she's talking about also. And it is a lot. Coding is very meticulous.
It is. It is. And so I got my next job, and it was at this energy marketing company, and it was amazing. It was in Atlanta.
Okay.
It was on the perimeter. They had a whole trading floor. So, like the New York Stock Exchange, they replicated that in Atlanta. And they sold commodities. So you think about like pork belly and like gold and right. So they traded energy commodities. Yeah. And I got to learn about what all that means, right? Yeah. So I worked with traders. I built trading applications. Traders, with no offense to anybody who is a trader, but y'all the worst people to work for.
Keeps it real. wait.
Throw that on.
I can't find it.
Oh my God! I got you.
I keeps it real.
I couldn't find it.
Yeah, y'all the worst.
That's real though. A lot of shady shit.
It's not only that they're like, I don't understand why you can't fix this now. I'm like, you asked me to build a whole different application. Why I can't do that in 5 minutes? What? Come on, like you're supposed to be smart. Yeah. So
exactly.
That was fun, but then that company went bankrupt, and then lost my job again. And
shit. I love that you keep it real.
We up to 2 or 3 at this point. Are we at
2 and 2?
We're 2. We're going to the third. So the third. That's real. I was lucky at the time. I got really gun shy because I was like, I just lost my job twice in 4 years. I just want something stable. And I don't remember how I found Macy's, but Macy's has a technology center in Atlanta.
Okay.
It's like 40 minutes outside of Atlanta. It's in a town called Johns Creek. And got a job as a usability engineer. So that is people who actually design the screen. So they do more tests, research. Yeah. We're doing a lot of things with the customer to then recommend designs to like the front end engineers and the designers and all that. So I did that. And honestly, I got bored. I was like, I could do this in my sleep. I want some challenge. And I was lucky enough to go work for this Black VP. He was the VP of stores. Shout out to Lee. Lee Scott's great. Shout out to Lee. And he was like, I see you. Like, I see the moves you're trying to make. I see your work ethic. I want to help you. And so I moved into product. And I did things that I would never ask anybody to do, like sleep under your desk. You ever work till 5 a.m.? You ever work a 24-hour shift? A lot of people have, but like it's crazy.
It's dangerous also.
It is. It is
dangerous because your body starts to shut. You get to the point of tiredness where it starts to hurt. You know
exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Where physically you're like in pain.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
It's crazy.
And the work ethic was there, but I was like, it's about working smarter, not harder. I think the things that our parents tell us, like I could tell you, my parents had said to me, like, keep your head down, you work hard, somebody's gonna notice you. That shit ain't true. Like you work, not in the corporate world. Like it's not. So what they'll do is like, thank you for working hard. Here's your pink slip, right? So
message.
That's
real. Run past that. Jarrett has spoke about that in length. In length. I've spoke about that in length. It's like the harder we work to fire, the faster we fucking get fired.
First ones
out the door.
Yep. And it took me a long time. We'll talk about Bloomingdale's, but it took me a long time to realize that, and that your work is a relationship between you and a company. So it's not just what you can do for them, it's what they can do for you, especially as you move up higher and higher.
Yeah.
And that may be a silent conversation with yourself. Like, all right, what are these people going to do for me? What is this? How does this help me get to like my next move? Or it can be an out loud conversation, but have the conversation, because I didn't. I was just like, I don't know. I'm just glad to be here. Like, you know, I was just,
yeah.
And that did not work well for me. So, you know, after that job at Macy's, I got bored again. So I stayed at Macy's for 5 years. 5 years. And I was like, I'm bored. There was a job. My manager, he was real cool. He was like, hey, there's a job at the .coms. You should go take one of them. So I was looking between San Francisco and New York. So this was 2008. And I was like, why don't I just go back home? So I took the Bloomingdale's job, went back to New York. And I was a senior producer for Bloomingdale's. What that is the person who actually, it's like a product manager. So the person who helps build the things that consumers see, but it's both for a technical perspective and a editorial perspective. So like if there are editorial magazines, clips, you're putting that on the website as well.
Got it.
And that job was trial by fire. Like I did not know what my job was, and my boss actually didn't either. And I was like, it's gonna be tough. Like we're basically just building the website as we go. And I think it was the third day I got there, the entire website went down, and they were like, fix it. I was like, okay. Like,
yeah,
jumped in, you figure it out, right? And so that was a lot of trial by fire. I was also glad to be a part of that. We started out making 20 million. When I left, we were making 2 billion.
Woo! Hold on, you say it so casually. You say it so casually.
Dropping those zeros like it's 12 billion, 2 billion.
20 to 2 billion. Woo!
Dropping those zeros like it ain't nothing.
So what from 20 million to 2 billion, like what were some of the things that you helped implement? Obviously you changed like the user experience and like the conversion aspect, things like that to make it a better experience for the user and that generated revenue. Yeah,
so I implemented the loyalty program for Bloomingdale's online.
Major.
So that was major. I did the international launch for Bloomingdale's. That was to 102 countries. What else did I do? I did a lot of cost saving measures for Bloomingdale's. So like fraud, I learned a lot about just credit card fraud and what that looks like from an e-commerce website perspective. So a lot of it, I mean, there were so many things. Like we implemented, what's that called? Shop Runner. We worked with Chanel and Gucci. And so it was just getting the traffic to convert on Bloomingdale's. It was fun. Like shout out to all the Bloomingdale's peeps. They were an amazing team to work with. It was probably one of the most diverse teams I'd ever worked with. Other than it at
and that's why they went from 20 to 2 billion, because they had a lot of diverse representation, had a lot of different minds, a lot of different characters, a lot of different strengths. So
yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was good. Like, you know, the job was hard too. We had to do, this is when technology was not as great as it is now, and we had to do actual live releases. So let me explain what that means. So when you get a new interface, like when you see that on the internet, that has to actually get pushed. So that code that creates that interface has to get actually deployed. So sent to what is called an environment. So like production environment is real time. So
it's like a sandbox.
Exactly. The sandbox, which is development to production. Yeah. We did that monthly at like 5 a.m. So I'm like riding the subway at like 4 a.m. from Brooklyn. I'm like, I'm gonna get murdered. And doing the releases. also hardworking, but it was so interesting. Like we did something with the CFDA, we did something with the NFL. You know, I got to meet oh God, I don't remember his name now. Oh.
This sound like a Mama I Made It moment. It sound like one of those Mama I Made It. Where you like I met.
It kind of is, and I can't remember his name. He used to play for the Jets, but
what, Curtis Martin? That's the first one.
I don't remember. It was like,
I don't know. Chad Pennington.
I'm not a Jet fan. So I'm not gonna sit here and just, you know what I mean? Like,
but wait, as you're thinking about that though, so I do want to say something because we had somebody come on the platform. His name is Mark Keelans. He actually created the what was it for HubSpot, the Content Academy, like the resource hub. Yes. So what he did was he actually had an exit with that. He actually explained the story of how he helped build that with his team, and then he ended up getting something on the back end to help to get that. So I'm curious, was something like that even presented to you, or did you even know that was possible at that time?
For content.
Yeah, like so for instance, like you building a loyalty program. You took that loyalty program. Now we're bringing an extra $50 million, $100 million incremental revenue year over year, and I helped build this thing, but you're paying me X amount of dollars.
Oh no,
no. You know what I'm saying? Like you should get a piece of that, right? That's something that changed their business.
That would be lovely. That would have been lovely. They didn't. I agree. Like the hardest part, or the most. I won't say the hardest part. The most difficult part, or at least they make it difficult for you, is to prove your own ROI. So like, what is it that I contributed to the business directly to help it grow, and what does that mean for me? Like, what does that mean from a bonus perspective? What does that mean from a raise perspective? Like, that is that's the hardest thing to prove. So I would recommend to people, like, when you have a win, write it down.
Message.
Write it
major
down.
Message.
Because when you go through your review process, like I will say it as a leader who has done reviews, you're like, all right, so it's January. I'm supposed to remember the whole last year. I remember the thing you did in like October. So don't ask me what you did in March. I don't know. Yeah. You need to know what you did in March. Like, you need to be able to say, hey, I did X, Y, and Z in quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3. This is what I think I'm worth. And be specific about it with examples like that, because you can't get around it. If you can give an example, people can't get around it. So like, make sure you're being really fastidious on your own career. Don't leave your career in the hands of your manager. And I'm one of the few that actually cares as a manager, but most managers, like, they're so busy with everything else. You're one of X, you're one of 10, or you're one of 20. Yeah. You gotta be on your career. So
before you go any further, let's just touch on that. Mm-hmm. That is based on confidence, plain and simple. Stop getting a job and being so grateful. I know. Thank you, sir, for giving me this job. Stop being so grateful that you forget what you're worth. That's your confidence, right? Yeah. At the job, I appreciate the job, but I'm also busting my ass at this job. I'm also bringing in the money. I'm going above and beyond. So you know, this is my value. That's the confidence factor. Oftentimes, especially, and we can't pass this because, like you said, imagine somebody that is in a bad situation economically. They finally get a job and they lose the job. Then they finally get another job and they lose that job. What does that do to their confidence? On the third job, you think they're going to open their mouth? Fuck no. They're going to
play the game.
They're going to play the game all the way through.
Yes, which is what I did. Like, I was like, all right, well, I don't want to lose my job again. So like, and there is, there's a woman that did a TED Talk. What's her name? It's a Black woman. I think her name is Susanna Alba. She said, like, we spend more time picking out our outfit than picking out our job. And I was like, no, true.
Human baby message.
Wait, you know why I gotta give it, because we, as Black and brown community, we show up to show out. So you know what it takes for us to You know what it takes for us, especially for the ones that work in corporate America and know that they're going to a high-end job. It's no way you're just walking through that door looking any old way.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's no way. Now, I'm gonna tell you like this. For the guys that work like me, construction and all the tech, hands-on trades and stuff, we never had to worry about that shit. You're throwing a t-shirt, you're throwing some jeans, and you take your ass. You're throwing they don't care what color this shit is. They don't give a fuck what you are. You wear do-rag, you wear fucking scarf. They don't care. But absolutely, when you're working in corporate America, we know that image matters because we're being judged anyway. Let's talk about this.
Oh man,
Jarrett gave a story
about
him being in a suit, him having the braids, the whole thing. And what did they say to you, Jarrett?
They told me the board didn't know me. And I was the top seller. They said the board didn't know me. They woke me upstairs, my first sales job, right? Doing $250,000 a quarter. The board of directors' son is my man. It's like me, Chad, we've gone on bus parties with this dude. Like he used to sleep on Mama Love couch. We sit and smack. Like that's my guy. They bring me at the end of the day. It's like, yo, look, Jared, we love what you're doing. We love your effort. But it's something about you. The board just doesn't know. And I'm just sitting there like, huh? I'm sitting there with baggy slacks. Right. I mean, I'm like I'm in private school. I'm dressing like I was going to private school because that's what I knew, right? So he's like, yeah, maybe it's your braids or your parents, and then maybe if you tighten up a little bit, then they would be more receptive to you and receptive. I'm like, okay. Had an option, right? One option, I'd be like, fuck you, and da-da-da. Like, I don't want to, like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? I'm the top revenue producer here. But this is my first shot in tech. Just had my baby. My baby's 2 years old at this point, right? What the hell am I going to do? I'm going to say F off and I'm going to go back to BBQ smelling like ribs and I got a salary? Hell to the no. So I shut, yes, sir. It's okay. I got you. I got something for your ass. You want to see how dedicated I am? Went straight to get a table. Had my braids since 7th grade and got a $10,000 raise the next morning.
Hold on. How about that?
The next day.
It's true. Like, Jarrett, I've been through the same thing. Like, I can totally understand how you felt. Like, I'm definitely reliving that myself. And the decision that you had to make. And I think that's the other thing that sometimes gets in the way is like, I've mentored folks and they're like, well, if I was in that situation, I would have no, you wouldn't. Like,
nope.
You would have made the decision that helped you not only keep your job, but get the raise like you did.
That's it. That's playing the game at its that's playing the game at its finest. You have to do it.
Gotta play.
And I didn't have leverage to play. I didn't have leverage to play the game any other way.
I gotta play devil's advocate though.
That's good, bro.
Gotta play devil's advocate.
Okay.
There has to be a line. I am not saying don't play the game. We all to a certain extent play some sort of a game when it comes to management, if you're not the top dog, etc. But there has to be a line that you must draw in the sand and say, I will not bend for this. Because they're going to test you every single day to see where that line is. And the further you keep stepping back, the more that line keeps, you understand?
Yes.
So there has to be a point in time where if you don't stand up, you think if Jarrett stands up for himself, right? Yes, it might end bad, but guess what? It also might set the tone for the next person.
Exactly.
That's what we're not thinking about. Yeah. Not that it's a bad thing.
Not at all.
But I'm just saying, most people are not thinking about the decisions I make affect the people coming behind me. They're only thinking about, I gotta eat, I gotta pay these bills. I don't want my lights to go out. And I'm not mad at that, but it has to be a line that where we say enough.
But let's be real too, though. I don't think anybody goes into corporate America thinking what their line is going to be or how they're going to be tested. Right. So that's the problem. We don't even have these conversations with ourselves internally. The shit happens in real time, and then the bills. You see the bills flying in your face and shit, and you're like, "Oh shit, I got kids. I'm supposed to go to Jamaica on next month and shit." Like, you know what I'm saying?
I know, and it's funny. It's both, right? Because like. Chaddy, when you said that, I thought of Charlie Murphy, where he's like, he was a habitual line stepper. Like, that's
what they do.
You're gonna have those habitual line steppers.
Right.
They are gonna test you. They're gonna test you, and they're gonna see how much you're gonna take. Yeah. And you have to draw the line on how much you're gonna take.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if the battle is easy for you, like win the battle because that's part of winning the war, right? Like, all right, I may have to conform. Like, I didn't get to wear this hair until recently. Like, it was pulled back in a bun. I have to look professional, whatever, right? And I was like, all right, that's the sacrifice I'm gonna make so that I look professional.
Yeah.
But that gets me to a place where I have leverage to either bring people up behind me or not take shit from the people that are in the same room as me.
Message. Seen an interview. I think it was. I might be mistaken, but I think it was Bokeem Woodbine.
Evil Dave Chappelle.
Right.
I just seen a meme on him.
And he did an interview. I believe it was Bokeem Woodbine. And they were saying like, yo, your career started off like, you know, so prominent. And then you kind of like, you know, that what happened? He said, I didn't play the game. Yeah. And he talked about, he said, I didn't play the game. He said, there's gatekeepers and they wanted me to do certain things, and certain things I did, but certain things I was not doing. And he said, I took the hit.
Yeah.
He said, I took the hit. And yes, I suffer? Yes, I suffered, right? My career didn't, you know, continue on the path it was. He said, but because I did it my way, when that train came back around, now they already know, don't talk to me, don't play with me. This is my value, this is what I'm worth, this is what I'm. And he said, and now we doing things on a completely different playing field. You know what I mean?
I gotta use your line on you.
Okay.
Devil's advocate.
Devil's advocate?
I gotta use the devil's advocate on you, right? So for instance, right, Bokeem Woodbine, he took the hit, right? But what did it do for the next people up, right? It didn't further his career. It didn't open up opportunities. Those gatekeepers are still there. And he just had a lesser life or lifestyle than what he would have wanted had he been the superstar that he should have been, right? So was it worth it?
I think
nothing changed?
No, you're right. I think because he's being, and this is the problem with our society also, right?
Okay.
We're not vocal about what happens in the moment. Right. In the moment, right? We hold so fucking long. We hold everything in so long that by the time we release it, you know what we sound like? We're complaining. We sound like we're bitter. We sound like angry black men and women. Instead of people that done went through some shit, and instead of complaining in the moment, we just tried to tough it out. That's the problem. Had he said something in the moment, then you're absolutely right. It probably would have, you know, brought something about but because he didn't for God knows how long, 15 years, how, you know, he's been around a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, like you said, nobody might have known you were going through the struggle. You were going through a silent struggle.
It was cold, yeah. But what was that moment for you though, sis? Because like for me, when I was like, I'm just gonna be me, the hat and the hoodie, was right before I got to Hootsuite. Is when I had the brand on LinkedIn. So I was like, look, I've got leverage and and I felt confident enough to say, hey, look, I can close X amount of deals utilizing my brand that I know some other people ain't gonna do. So this is me, you take it or leave it. What was that moment for you? Was it when you got the C-suite? Like, I'm just curious.
It was Mailchimp. I really miss Mailchimp. Mailchimp's culture was the best culture I've ever worked in. So shout out to Ben and Dan.
Quick, so for the audio listeners, for anybody that don't know what Mailchimp is an email server, right? And it allows you to send out like mass emails. If you have an email list and you want to blast out an email for products and services and things of that nature, you don't have to send each email one by one. You can kind of put it in and it'll select all your list of emails that you have and send it out. It's a phenomenal tool when you want to reach your clientele one shot. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Mailchimp, send a check. No, we back. Sorry,
I know. I don't have any equity in Mailchimp anymore, but yeah, it is great. You can get a free account. You could build a website now with Mailchimp. That was something under my watch. So like Mailchimp was probably the realest environment I've ever worked in. Like the shout out to Mailchimp, the black folks and the brown folks at Mailchimp. They were the kinds of people you hope to work with. Like they are I'm gonna pull you up, I'm gonna pull the next person up. Yeah. You know, I am gonna be here when you need to have a conversation, when like somebody is stressing you and you're like, I need to talk to somebody that knows what it's like from an experience perspective that looks like me. Those were the people at Mailchimp. And so I feel really fortunate to have been with those kinds of people. And I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna just like, you know, they would talk about bring your whole self to work. And I will tell you, when I started, I was like, that's bullshit. Like
always red flag. Bullshit. Soon as
Oh, you know what? Wait. I just thought about something.
What's up?
I just thought about something. We can't go past this.
Mm-hmm.
Natalia, this is super important, right?
Okay.
You're getting jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're applying for jobs, you're submitting your resume, correct?
Yes, but usually, like at this level, headhunters come to me.
Okay. So let me tell you the reason I'm asking this, and Jarrett, you can relate to this too, right?
Okay.
You know, they say that when you have a job history and you've gone through multiple jobs in a certain amount of time, that recruiters or possible employees look at that and say, why have you been at so many different companies in this short amount of time? Can you speak on that?
I can. I feel like when I started out, that was a big thing. Like, oh, you look like you're job hopping because you're in a new job every 2 years.
Right.
I will say with the newer generations, that's just how they move.
It's expected now.
Okay.
Yeah, like, and so they totally expect it. The one thing I will say from a message perspective, because I do this with my resume, is put it through an AI filter. Like when you're applying to a job, take the job requirements and take your resume and put it through an AI filter. It will match your resume to the job and tell you how to rewrite the resume for the job.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
Do you actually have the name or any information on that? Because we would love to post that, because I think a lot of people
that's gem, right? That's gold right there.
Right there, absolutely.
I can probably so Resume Nerd is the one that I use.
Okay.
And that is like you can just put your resume they'll tell you to just basically parse your resume out. Like, so just put each job in a box. Then they'll say, all right, what job do you want to apply for? Okay, I'll go through your resume. The AI will go through your resume and say, all right, on a scale of 0 to 1,000, you rank a 500. If you do these 4 things, you will more than likely get looked at by a recruiter. Because here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you put your resume in, a recruiter is not the first person to see it.
Yeah.
It's a job. It's basically a resume evaluation application that they send all that through. So like 90% of the resumes don't make it through, and you want your resume to make it through. So match as many keywords as you can. And then it gets in the hands of a recruiter. You're really going up against the technology. So figure out like what technology will help you get past the application, like the applicant technology. That's
fire, sis. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Now I don't need to now. We got the business, but shit, if I was, I'd use it right now. Shit. Resume Nerd, send the check.
Send the check, please.
Send the check, please. Wait, why we do that? Because he's on a break real quick. And you know that?
We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Make sure y'all get your More Than the Title merch. You can get your beanies, you can get your hats, you can get your How to Build Relationships and Revenue course. You can bet on yourself shirts. Mother's Day's coming up. Father's Day's coming up. Fucking Friday's coming up. Get you a shirt. Shit. So we're going to lay that up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we back. You know what I'm saying? So you were talking about also before we talked about that was the Mailchimp. You said that was the best culture that you worked at, stuff like that, right? And you helped them get to that exit point, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, what was your mindset going into Mailchimp? Because they weren't as known when you started. Did you see it was going to be where it was going to be, like a tech conglomerate?
No, so that was luck. Some of it is, I got to be honest. Some of it's
real,
but it skipped something. But my mom passed away in 2017, and I was at Bloomingdale's in 2017. My boss, I was doing things you do. We're Jamaican, so people have to fly in. You got we do a cultural thing called 9 nights, which is like a celebration of life, and you do the repast and all that, right? And Bloomingdale's was like, when you gonna be done with that? And I'm like, I've worked for you for 9 years. You can't give me the time to grieve.
They said, when are you
my mother with my family? And so that's where I talk about you put your blood, sweat, and tears, and like they don't give a shit.
Message. Stop right there. Jarrett, who do we have on the show with a very similar story to that?
I feel like everybody got that
shit. No.
Oh, Haji is similar to yours, Natalia. Mm-hmm. His wife passed away. His wife passed away, and guess what? They gave him 3 months, and guess what? A year later, they fired him on the day of his wife's anniversary. On the anniversary, he shared the story right on the platform.
Watch this. That his boss called him. He's thinking his boss is gonna go, "Are you okay? I understand this is the anniversary date." What we call that? The human being fucking factor, right? Mm-hmm. Thinking that your boss is actually going to be a human being. You're telling me that you wanted to fire this man. You waited a whole year and you couldn't fire him on no other day but the exact day that his wife passed away. Are you fucking shitting me? That's not by accident. That was done purposely.
No, it was. You know what? The thing that is crazy is the higher you go up in a company, the more sociopathic people become.
Macy! You get the baby. Quickest clips on this side of the East Coast. Quick on a draw. I beat me to it. Shit.
You get the baby for that.
Like they don't care. They don't see you as a person.
Now we talking.
Now we
talking.
So like they don't care that you have a family. They don't care that like here's I'm gonna call out Bloomingdale's.
Go ahead, do your thing.
We had a senior vice president of creative who worked up until she worked up until the day of her delivery because they only gave 6 weeks off. And she's like, I'm gonna try to use she was like vomiting in a can. Like it was crazy. It's crazy. And like when you see leaders do that, you as an individual, like, well, if she can't leave, then I can't leave. Right. So
think about it.
Exactly. And so like the fact that you don't even realize that this woman is giving birth to a new life, like give her the time to recover.
They don't
care. They don't care.
Let me chime in. You talk about working 24 hours a day, right? One of the jobs that I did, one of the biggest jobs I did. You're from Queens, right? Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with Resorts World, the casino? I built that. Okay. What? I was one of the general foremen for that job. Let me explain something to you. That job was 24 hours a day. I had 3 shifts. And then I had 2 overlapping 12-hour shifts, right? 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and then 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Guys were working so many hours, right? So many hours that I had a guy, and I'm just going to say it right off the bat. I told a guy like this, go home, right? We had a meeting in the parking lot. I said, go home. The boss told him, black woman told him, go to Staples. It was Thursday. Go get the envelopes for the checks. I said, I will go get the envelopes. He's been working 20 hours straight. You know those VA commercial fuck with motherfucking leaning. He's leaning. Caribbean kid, right? Caribbean kid. Go home. I told him, go home, right? But because he wanted to show how much of a hard worker he is. And here's the problem. You want to show how much of a hard worker you are. He left. I didn't even get up the garage back to my office before he's calling me, screaming. He had an M3. He got 3 blocks away, fell asleep, hit the accelerator pedal, and ran into the back of a Lexus GS 400. Almost paralyzed him, right? Almost paralyzed him. Now, I just told you he was on his way to get paper envelopes that you wouldn't allow me to get, right? This is how much hours we're doing, right? Because they wanted the job done. Long story short, you know what she said to me? She said, give him a check for like the next week and then cut him off. We can't carry him. Like, and I just looked at her like, you see, you a piece of shit. And I'm not even cutting you a piece. I told you a piece of shit. She looked at me like, why would you he went there doing you a favor. I told him to go home. I could have very easily went and got some fucking envelopes. But you wanted him to do it. And now it almost cost him his life. So for the next 10, 12 years, because he was in construction, now his back was destroyed. He couldn't work. Now he had a child. He had a fiance. You destroyed his entire life. Now here's the crazy thing about it, Natalia, and you understand this. the casino is only like 4 or 5 blocks, maybe 6 from the Van Wyck Expressway.
Yeah.
Right off, right, Rockaway. He lived right off the Van Wyck Expressway, not even on Liberty Ave, not even a full exit away. He could have just went home. You understand what I'm saying? So I gave him a check and she fired him. She fired him. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, and he almost gave his life literally for your company. And the best that you could do is give him 1 more week of pay and then dismiss them. Like, you didn't give him no unemployment. You fought his unemployment claim, everything. You see what I'm saying?
No, exactly. And that poor man, like, he probably had to go through therapy,
7 surgeries that I know of. 7 surgeries that I know of.
Right. And now he's in medical debt.
Right.
Like, because like the companies doesn't like it's it's self-perpetuated. And that's to your point where I'm like, he literally gave his life for this company.
Absolutely.
And they don't care. Like, they were like, how much can I suck out of you? That's basically it.
The YouTube community loves those, sis.
We have to hold on, Natalia. You the home team, but that just sounded kind of crazy.
Sorry.
I would have said that.
We love you.
Definitely hit the button. I couldn't let you get away with that.
Now I'm gonna be TikTok famous. Look,
that's going viral.
No. But it goes to show you. And I'm being serious about this, right? I'm with you, right? There's a stigmatism put on certain types of cultures and people.
Yeah.
When we're talking about Caribbean people, one of the first things that I learned, Caribbean people work the hardest.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest, right?
Same
the only thing right with a Caribbean person is a Mexican.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just telling you what it is, right? You know what they say about Jamaicans? May have 3 jobs, may have 4 jobs, right? Okay. But listen what I'm saying, right? But you fall into the stigmatism. It brainwashes the shit out of you because you wanna live up to the hype. You want to live up to what people are saying about your people, so it doesn't make your people look bad, and it almost will cost you your life.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you a story. So my dad was in construction. He was he was a tile layer. That used to actually be a really like a really niche job. Like, you know, back in the day, we're talking like 60s, 70s, right? He worked for a number of firms. The last one he worked for is called Basil Castrovinci. They're like they're Italian-owned construction firm in New York. No, like pension. What pension?
Yeah.
So when he went to retire, couldn't retire.
Yeah.
My dad worked.
Was he union?
He was union. He was local. I think it was local 64 is what he was.
I know the tile layers. I know that union.
Yeah. And he passed away on the job. He had a massive heart attack.
Wait, Jarrett. Did I not give you that story at the UN about the guy that passed away and his wife got that like $850,000, his annuity, his vacation, all that money?
That was that's our biggest clip to this day.
There it is.
That story.
There it is.
Hear that your father went through the same thing on the job.
Condolences. Let me say my condolences.
Absolutely.
Let me say my condolences because that is an absolute fucking travesty.
Tragedy.
That man trying to provide for his family passes away on the job.
Yeah.
And you know what they did? They replaced him the very next day.
The next day. Exactly.
That's crazy.
My mom got a little pension from the union, and
right.
Like,
and let me tell you something. He's not the only one. The guy that we're talking about, you know, same thing happened to him. There's a local out there right now, and it's a very niche job because not a lot of people still do it because a lot of buildings are not still built with plaster, but the plaster is union. I believe they're local 262. Let me tell you something. Their leadership robbed their pension. They stole it. So guys that work 25, 27, 28, 30 years, guess what they got told after? Sorry guys, your leadership stole you have nothing. You have nothing.
My heart.
Imagine starting in your 20s, being in your 50s, working 30 years, busting your ass thinking you can maybe go fishing and just sit back a little to find out you have absolutely nothing. What do you think those guys are going to do now? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to work until they die.
Exactly.
They can't stop now. Because now they got kids, maybe in college, maybe they got a house, maybe they got a mortgage.
Grandkids, all
grandkids, like you said, grandbabies. How do you support that now? Do I now leave this job, even though I've been here 30 years, but I make 100,000, 120, 100 to go work at fucking Walmart or Home Depot?
Right. No.
I have to stay here now.
No.
That's insane.
It's crazy. And that's why, you know, that was a lesson to me. Like, they don't look out for yourself. Like, don't put all
even Hayes knew it.
Yeah.
Hayes remembers the story. Yeah. That's crazy, man.
It's crazy.
But you said look out for yourself. We have to. And like you said, us as Black people, like you said earlier, you nailed it, bro. It was the fact that we always feel like we're grateful to be somewhere, right? Like it's just that mentality. And like as you were saying with the Mailchimp, says like you got around a good company. You know, you're looking out for yourself now. You see what it is in the bullshit. I'm just curious, what advice would you give to yourself back then? Or what if there anything you would have done differently to help navigate? Like, is there any moment that you was like, damn, I wish I would have done that? Or I know we don't have regrets and shit like that, but what is something that you would give advice to?
Yeah,
I ain't
gonna lie. I got a couple. I ain't gonna hold you. I have
regrets. You know, I will say, and I'm just gonna be really honest.
Yeah.
When you're the only in the room, and I've been the only in the room for most of my career.
Message.
When you see another Black person, it is like they pit you against each other. And I bought into that.
Right.
So like I felt like, oh no, it's me or you. Like, what is that? 2 men enter, 1 man leave. Like there's no like and it's like it's a crabs in a bucket mentality. And I had some growth to do, and I did that growth, and I was like, no, we should be uplifting each other. It's not about, oh, there's only one position. Why is there one position for a Black person, but there's 6 positions for a white man, or there are 4 positions for a white woman? Like, why? Right? So that's probably the thing that I regret the most, is feeling like I had to outshine the other Black person in the room. And I'm sure they felt the same way, because that's just how they position it, right?
That's right.
And so, you know, I think I learned this after Bloomingdale's, because I mean, if you think about Bloomingdale's, there literally are no Black people there. But
wait. I gotta read.
I keep it
up. Understand what Bloomingdale's is economically, though, right?
Totally.
Bloomingdale's is the mid to upper class shopping area. Macy's is the lower end.
Oh yeah,
a bunch of Black motherfuckers working Macy's, ain't it though? You understand? So we're talking about relatability, right? Yeah. When people go to, and where is Bloomingdale's? 5th Avenue, 59th Street. Talk to me, right? Okay. Yep. So now, who's shopping on 5th Avenue, 59th? Not say that we don't, but the majority of us are not walking in that door. Yeah. So they want the people that walk in that door to relate to the people in that store, and vice versa, all the way through, right? Because let's take it a step further. Who does the ordering for that store, right?
Yeah.
Demographically, every store orders differently based on the demographic area, even though if it's the same chain store, right? Yeah. So if they know, well, I'm not. You ever walk in, Jarrett? Keep it 100. Keep it 100 right now. And I know we don't lie, but just keep it 100. How much shit you are? And we ain't gonna say your age, because you know Hayes has a problem when we be dating.
Nah, we young. I'm getting salt and pepper. They say they like on YouTube.
Let's do it like this. In all the years of you getting fresh, you getting swaggy, whatever you want to call it, you spend a lot of money on clothing. How much of that clothing money went to Bloomingdale's?
Shit, not much.
Thank you.
Keeping it real. Maybe a Prada here and there, a little shoe or something. Once a year, belt maybe. But other than that, I'm not going in there spending the bag. No.
But you know why? It's not because you ain't got the money. It's because nothing in there really relates to your style.
Exactly.
It doesn't relate to you, and they do that shit on purpose.
Yeah.
You understand?
On purpose. Like I don't know if the Macy's at Fulton Street is still there in Brooklyn.
Yes, it's there.
Yeah.
Like
they closing them.
But watch this though. They need some motherfucking parking because I'm tired of getting tickets when I go out that.
I know it's terrible. I'm like,
they're closing the Fulton and they're closing Parkchester.
Oh,
they're closing Parkchester and Fulton.
Are they closing them now?
They're closing them.
But that's crazy because they actually just renovated Brooklyn. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Like 2 or 3 years ago, they just renovated it.
Yeah, Parkchester's gone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. They need to close Parkchester. Parkchester's trash, man. That's probably one of the worst Macy's. It is what it is.
That's my hood. It's jobs. Local jobs.
I'm talking about for us though. For it to be in the hood, it's terrible.
That should have run through.
With you. In Middletown, this Macy's is absolutely worse than Parkchester. I think I might have bought like 2 shirts out. It's terrible.
Oh,
terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the way that Macy's at Fulton Street used to be. Like, I was like, why is it when I come in here, it smells like curry chicken and y'all have nothing? There's nothing here. There's nothing. I can't buy a single thing. Like, why? This is ridiculous.
So when you walked in, was you like,
hated it?
Absolutely. I was like, we're gonna spend 5 minutes in here. I was like, I need some socks and we're gonna leave. Like, it was.
Wait, well, I'm glad you said that because BBQs was like 2 doors down.
No way. I used to go to
Are you talking about the one in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
BBQs is like 2 doors down from Macy's.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes, it is.
I'm due for a cherry bomb. I gonna hold you.
I used to go to the one. I don't know if the one's still there in Chelsea.
Yeah, the one at 20, the 28 on the west side.
No, wait, 24th Street.
Yeah, right there by
that's one of the original ones.
Yeah,
that's actually one of the original ones.
That's one of
that's one of the original ones.
Yeah, that's where I used to go to get like the big margarita with like the Henny. Yep.
You talk about. I'll give you a quick BBQ story, bro. So we used to, when I was waiting there, right? Every Wednesday, the dude would come sign the checks for the entire. He would come into every location, sit where you can see him, and just sign the checks. Jewish dude, won't say nothing to nobody, and walk right the fuck off.
What?
Like, yeah, I used to look at this dude like, yo, look at the demographic. It's all of us here, and like we selling cherry bombs and big ass wings, and you can't even say hi to nobody.
I know.
But why? Let's talk about it. Why do you? It's one very simple reason of why he wouldn't speak to you.
Shit.
Because he felt like, why would I speak to you? He's a worker. He's not on my level. What conversation are we gonna have? That's his mentality.
Yeah,
and I would see your value.
Chadeo, you were spot on. So
Talking.
I had a CEO tell me this. So I was like, hey, one of the things that I'm glad that my parents instilled into me is like, you can learn from everybody if you respect everybody. It doesn't matter like if you are homeless on the street. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire. You can learn from everybody. Yeah. And they were like, yeah, no. That's where you're wrong.
Oh, we don't play that.
I was like, oh my, what? And she was like, no, there are people that are beneath you. And I was like,
yeah.
And those are the type of people that are leading people.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That has your livelihood and controlling your livelihood. How more you see your kids. What are you doing? What kind of life you're going to live? The ones they don't see. So all that hard work, you're going to bust your ass for 24 hours like we were doing. Just remember, there's a boss out there somewhere. Probably your boss is thinking that same shit. Put yourself first.
Put yourself first.
And I want to touch on something that you said, Natalia. And I want you, because you have a keen insight on this. Not only was you maybe the only Black or brown person in the room, you are a female. Do you know the stigmatism about putting females in power?
No.
That's why they don't like to do it. They say because you're too emotional.
Oh yeah, but here,
I'm not saying it. I'm telling you that's the stigmatism that goes around with it, right? And then right, you go extra. I think they said like you from New York, right? NYPD.
Yeah.
The men police officers one way. The woman police officers. I'm like, well, why are you going extra? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Same thing, because it's like they feel like you cannot handle the responsibility of leadership.
Yes.
Without separating your emotions, without doing. Now, when they do it, and they fuck up, no problem. But when you do it,
yeah, can I? Okay, so I will tell you.
Yes.
I
feel you about to go real right now.
Do me one favor.
Yeah, you just move it slightly.
Can you move over a little bit? The sun is setting to your left, your military left.
Yeah, block the light.
There you go.
There you go.
We don't want the light there.
Okay.
Right there. Right there you go.
Good? Nope. That good?
Right there.
Nope.
There, right there. Sweet spot. There it goes.
Got it.
There you go.
Got it. Like I would pride myself on the fact that I have no emotion at work. Like I said, I don't believe in the bring your whole self to work. I feel like that's a trap for Black and brown people. Having lived it myself, I've never brought my whole self to work, and that sounds really sad, but like different times. And my job in my last 3 companies has been to clean up somebody else's mess. And that tied with being non-emotional, the feedback that I got was that no one can read you. No one understands if you're happy or you're sad. No one, like, you seem very cold. And I was like, well, hell, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't. Because I have also been very stern, and it's like, you're being just a little too aggressive.
Can you say that one more time, please?
Yeah, you're being a little too aggressive.
Message.
And I can tell you, so I was working with somebody that clearly was a racist, but tried to disguise it. And his direct report was somebody I worked with as well. These 2 people are white. So when I was having a meeting, and the woman asked, hey, can I be a part of this meeting? And I said, no, not right now. I want to keep it small, but next go around, like, it probably makes sense for you to be a part of it. She went to her boss. Her boss calls me at 7:00 at night. Hey, you made her cry. And I'm on the other line, like, I don't give a fuck. What? Okay. Damn.
Hey,
like, okay.
Did she look like this? Is this her face though?
I can't. Probably. I didn't see it.
Not the users. The what the fuck?
What?
The people tuning in want to know. Not users.
Oh, the audio listeners, the visual users, the listeners, the subscribers, the followers.
I didn't see it. He was like, I spent the last hour and a half talking her down. She was just in tears about what you said to her. And I was like, all I told her is that I don't want her at a meeting.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't understand why white women's tears are sacred. Because if I cry, who cares?
Macy! If you cry, you're over emotional.
I am being called over emotional. I have also been called really cold. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And so that's the thing that's tough in navigating. And that's why, again, it's helpful to have a community around you, because you can go to someone and say, all right, I just had this experience. And I had that. It was like, all right, I just had this experience. This is ridiculous. And the person was like, yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, why is this okay? Here's what I think you should do. And that person helped me make moves so that I didn't look like I was the asshole and not letting this person attend this meeting and making that person cry.
How did you navigate that though, sis? We'd love to know that now. Like, what was the advice that your mentor gave you? How did you know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna be like, oh, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And all that. So you came back. I know you handled it professionally. So what did you do?
Yeah. So with the person, I said next day, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that person felt that way. The good thing, it's not an apology. I'm sorry you felt that way.
Wait, you said that to the person, to the
manager.
I'm sorry that person felt that way.
Gotcha.
But I stand by what I said.
There it is.
Here's why. You give me feedback on whether you disagree. So like, I didn't want this person at the meeting because of these reasons. I was going to invite this person to the next meeting. What's the problem with that? And so it's hard when you present logic for people and examples. Like, here's the email that I sent to that person. Here's the Slack message that I sent to that person. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? So
what's the real answer though? You know the real answer. They're still going to make a fucking excuse.
Of course they are.
That's the real answer. That's the real answer. They're still going to make an excuse. You know why? Because it's you to her. Now, if it was her to you, he would have never wasted his fucking time coming to you. So you fucking crying. And then he'd be like, well, you got to get over it. You know, she's in charge. And if she didn't want you there, you're not there. That would have been the answer. Cut, simple, cut, plain. He would have never went back to her expressing your emotional turn. Get out of here.
I know.
We had that shit recently too. Remember?
What?
Well, old girl, thank God we were business owners.
What? Talk to me.
It was all right. So long story short, we were dealing with a client, right? Right, sis? We dealing with a client. And she's like the middle person between us and the CEO, right? Whatever, right? So we went the extra mile. We like, yo, look, old girl, to help you out, we're gonna put an hour or half an hour of our time every week to make sure you're up to speed. Our team is fully rolling, all this other stuff. She started crying to like they're too aggressive. And I'm like, bitch, we are running a successful 6-figure business, and we're putting a half an hour on our calendar every Friday to make sure you're doing your job properly. And you're crying, talking about what we're doing.
But wait, don't leave out the fact that she said, "Oh, this meeting is not productive." Wait, time out. Not productive.
Hold up.
Teaching you it's not productive. No problem. Guess what? Now you get nothing.
Yeah.
But there's one word, and I'm gonna say it because I don't give a fuck. It's one word. We don't really have it, but they have it. Let's say it loud. Entitlement.
I was about to say privilege. Entitlement.
No,
interchangeable.
Okay. Entitlement's cousin. Privilege.
That is his cousin.
And they first cousins too.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are first cousins.
But listen, pick one and use it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, right? How do you, like he said, first of all, we had to check her, and we checked her very immediately. First of all, let me explain something to you. You are an employee. You work for the man that has partnered with our company. Do you understand the difference? Right. We are owners. You're an employee. We're helping you out. Mm-hmm. You have the audacity to tell us, we're not doing our jobs. You're the one making the mistakes. Yeah. Technically, you're being paid for nothing, because what Jarrett didn't tell you is we're doing your fucking job for you. Yeah. And when you mess up, guess what your boss does? He calls us crying, and who fixes it? So you're getting a salary for no fucking reason, because technically you shouldn't be here. Your boss should just give us the money because we're doing the fucking work anyway. If I'm lying, Jarrett, you correct me, please. Please. You shouldn't even have a fucking job. The fact that you have a job, and I'm not being funny because everybody needs to earn a living, but let's not miss this point. You only have a job because your boss didn't want to give us so much money to do the job that we were doing. So he figured, let me break it up and give it to her. Yeah. You're over age. Mentally, you don't have the capacity for this type of work. Yeah. And you're sickly. The first meeting, we couldn't even do it because you was in the hospital. What are you talking about? It's not nothing against you, but if you know you don't have the physical capacity to perform a job, imagine me with one leg trying to do construction. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't even got the fake leg. I'm just hobbling to work. I'm like, nigga, what you do? I'm going to lay these steel beams. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You got to listen to him. You can learn something.
The only reason that she even had a fucking job was because he didn't want to give us that much money, because he felt like if I give them all that money, I'm giving them control.
I see.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the fact.
And you know what ultimately happened to her, right?
Oh no, did she get fired?
You know,
2 months later, got fired, and we ended up doing the work anyway.
And we end up doing the work anyway.
Yeah.
And then, since, we're going to talk about it, let's fucking talk about it. And then we try to negotiate to give him a deal, still, bump him up a little bit, but not as much as what he was paying her. And you know what the first thing he said to me? He said, Chaddy, you shouldn't use her salary as a baseline. Oh, verbatim, you shouldn't use her salary as a baseline to negotiate the value of your work, because that's not the right thing to do. I said, you're absolutely right. Let me show you the real numbers. You're paying her way lower than what we'd have charged you anyway. This is the real numbers. We're still giving you a discount, but don't ever disrespect us like that. Don't ever think that we fly by night, but we do what we got to do. Yeah. But it's the mentality, because him and her are the same.
Yeah.
Him and her are the same.
And because of the, why.
Entitlement and privilege.
Yeah. There is this woman, it's a white woman that's a psychologist. Her name is Jane Elliott. You ever heard of her?
Nah, I haven't.
Okay. So
come on, Natalia, it's the black community. We don't know no goddamn.
He's
what the hell you talking about? You asking about some liquor, some weed brands, or some
Jane Elliott.
Chinese restaurant.
No, Jane Elliott sound like a skirt. It sound like a skirt brand. Jane Elliott's. Yo, my girl just brought a pair. No, I'm joking with you. I'm joking.
Wait, I'm gonna connect it. So I feel like for me, for all you all, oh nice,
Jaden heard of my guy Jaden.
Okay, Jaden, shout out to Jaden, man.
Shout out to Jaden. That we get gaslit, especially during and after the pandemic. Really, after Obama, like we're supposed to be. Yes, she is. Okay, she's the one did the brown. Yeah, she is. She is.
The community's with us. The community's with us.
Hey, you should have sent that to me in a private message before I said that shit.
I'm a connected. Right. And this ever since Obama, it's like, oh, we're in this post-racial era. Okay. There's no more racism, blah, blah, blah. And like we encounter microaggressions every day. Not to talk about the major aggressions, the fact that we have police violence and we have people being shot every day for having ice cream in their hand or sitting in the wrong apartment that someone, whatever, right? So Jane Elliott, it's a great clip. She has the whole room's white people. And she says to them, basically, if racism is over, how many of you, if I could wave a wand, would be black tomorrow?
Message.
Guess how many people stood up? 0. So if we are imagining all of the major microaggressions that happen, why wouldn't you want to be black? Because it'd be the same life. So inherently, that we go through a different life and different hardships than you do. But you don't want to admit it because it require you to do the work to unlearn all of the entitlement and all of the bad behavior that gets perpetrated against us.
Message.
And I think is really, it does go viral very frequently. Like it is.
You see?
It's a
Jaden, do me a favor, bro. Since you know what it is, can you, the way you text in the comments, can you send us that link real quick? I would love to see that because I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen that one, and I would love to actually look at it. So Jaden, do me a favor, bro. If you could send that comment in the chat. Yeah, put it in the chat, bro. I would appreciate you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And so like the fact that and I'll shout out Sharika Brown. She is head of D&I at Coursera now. She used to be at Mailchimp. That there's so much that we go through as a baseline. Like our baseline is filled with these major and microaggressions, right? That the fact that we take that and we push it down and succeed on top of that is a testament to the resiliency of the Black and Brown community. However, we shouldn't have to do that. Like,
the resilience of the black and brown person. Yep.
I need to stop you right there. And you, Jarrett, I know
good?
you don't want me to do it.
Wow. Well, I don't know where you're going here.
Watch this. You're going to catch it real quick. What she's saying is, remember what she said. Number one, well, if being black ain't so bad, who want to be black, right? Nobody raised their hand, right? And the fact that we rise up above all the things that we go through make us great. Does that conversation sound familiar? We just had a young female on 2 days ago, Zoe, and it wasn't the same conversation. It wasn't the same conversation, but it was almost the same conversation where I explained. She's like, well, I'm tired of people that go through the struggle always screaming, I made it out the struggle. I said, well, do me a favor. When you have some kids, move into projects. Yeah. When you have some kids, let your kids go to public school in the project. Oh, I would never do that. There you go. She's, exactly. You know, her exact words was, I would never play with their lives. Those were her exact.
Yeah. We love you, sis. I might not throw that clip out.
No, I think she's great. I'm watching.
She's dope. She's dope.
Listen,
that wasn't dope.
Here's the thing, and this is where society goes wrong. You can be a dope individual and still say some crazy shit. You can be a dope individual and still make a mistake. This is where our society goes wrong. We think that we can't be dope and make a mistake, or we can't be dope and say something we should not say, or we can't be dope and not have the knowledge to say the right thing because we don't have all the information. That's not true. Two things can be true. She's a super dope individual and she's accomplished a lot of things, but what she said in the moment was absolutely crazy.
Because your audience is mostly what? People in the hood.
People. It's
Thank you.
And
let me tell you something, right? We go through this so much that it has become our learned behavior.
Yeah. No, it's true. It
is our learned fucking behavior. You know, I watch so many people, Natalia, and I'm not even being funny. I'm not even. Oh, he sent the clip. Thank you, Jaden. I look at it. Thank you, Jaden.
Thank you.
And your father being in construction, and I wish I could, talk to him because he'll be a testament to this. We go through this so much that you remember back in the day when slaves used to be around massa, they would put their head down, no eye contact. Do you know how many people right now walk this earth? I'm not even talking about at work. Walk this earth with such a low self-confidence that they walk with their head down.
Mm-hmm.
They walk with their head down because they are so afraid to look somebody in the eye. They are so afraid to hold their head high and show that confidence because it is learned behavior. We've been beaten down so much that we feel like this is the way we should conduct ourselves.
Yeah, it's true. I'm reading this book. It's called The Pedagogy of the Oppressed. It's by Paulo Freire. He's a Brazilian academic. And he talks about that exact thing.
Right.
Where and I do it. So the thing I do is self-deprecation.
Okay.
I'm so stupid. I didn't know. Those accomplishments. It's not, you basically downplay yourself. And he says that is a characteristic of the oppressed. And it is derived from internalization of the opinion that the oppressors held of you. So the fact that they think you're lesser, you now think you're lesser. And so that gets internalized. And from a generational perspective, that internalization and that trauma is passed down. Right?
You gotta listen to him, you learn something.
Exactly.
Now boys down to people need to deprogram their conscious and subconscious minds. There you go,
Jaden. See, Jaden is I'm not being funny. I'm not being funny, but that's why I really, really, really enjoyed The Matrix. I didn't enjoy The Matrix for the the graphics and all the new technological things they were doing. I really enjoyed it for the fact of just the main baseline of separating your consciousness from the programming. That is the baseline of the movie. Waking up and truly separating yourself from the programming. Let me tell you something. They are terrified. I mean, terrified of us separating ourselves from. If we separate out, and I'm not talking as a whole community, I'm talking like this much. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking like just the Bronx. If just New York did it, you know what
I just didn't like that. You was like this for too long. You was like this for too long, and your tone was like, it was like that. I hated it.
I'm just saying, like,
I like where you're going.
If just a fraction of us, bro, truly, right? We talk about the economic spending power of the Black community, 1.3 trillion. We are richer than some of these fucking countries out there. We're talking if one state, even a half a state did this, the ripple effect that it would cause would be disastrous for them. Mm-hmm. Disastrous.
Yeah.
And that's why they, you know, and you can say, okay, I'm a liar. Watch this. COVID hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is in our time a pandemic worldwide that we have not seen in God knows how long, right?
Yeah.
Close to 2 trillion. Thank you. Look, close to 2 trillion. Watch this. Watch this. Do you know, and this is statistically already proven, do you know how many millionaires from the Black and brown community were created in COVID? In COVID? From people staying at home and then saying, I got to figure this shit out, and opening up businesses, from people staying at home and solving problems and now offering services. So much so, right? And you can say, oh, that's not true. I go, okay, guess what? They realized that we were making so much money that the first thing they did after COVID was over is put a tax on the motherfucking Cash App and Zelle and all that with sending money. Why do you think they did that?
Yeah.
Why do you think they did that? Because they realized how much fucking money was transferring between our community that they was not getting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he was like, oh no, we can't have this. They getting too much money over there. It was 1942 every day.
Jarrett, crab legs and scrimps. We had crab legs out the what? We had stimmies,
never seen business like that.
Oh man,
stock market was booming. Tell them, man, everything was lit.
Look. Even Hayes seen it. Stock market was booming. Look, everything was going crazy. They realized that we don't need you. We don't need these big ass offices. We don't need to be in these multi-million-dollar buildings that cost all this fucking money. We just need this and some of this, some heart to believe that we can achieve. And that's it. Yeah. And we took it to the moon. And the first thing they did was start cracking down on the money transfer, because they said, now they're getting too much money. They're getting too much money. And this is what we're talking about. This is what we're seeing time and time again. The moment that we take 2 or 3 steps forward and they realize that we're progressing, they do any and everything in their power to shut us down.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. You're right. It's funny because so I have not talked about me being a product person, but as a product person, you got to know your markets. You got to know from a technology perspective and from a customer perspective who you're playing with. I love that. I think it was Jarrett said $2 trillion is basically our spending capacity, right? Yep. What at Mailchimp I used this example on, like, if we could just think from a technology perspective on how we cater to our own community, or even from a product perspective. So I use Fenty. Fenty is an example, right? Yeah. When Rihanna came out with Fenty, she just added 4 more shades that were attuned to darker skinned Black people. And that made her, I think they did.
When she sold it already.
I know, which is okay. Don't sit on it. But like the first year, I think they were supposed to do 3 million. They did 10 times that.
Right. They were talking about when she sold it, it was worth something like 600-700 million already.
Yeah. Easy.
Already. Right.
Easy. And it's because we have such an amazing spending power. If we can just have something that's catered to us, like, we will spend. Like, Black women spend 25% of their income on beauty products, myself included. Like, that's hair, skin, nails, right? 25%. The next highest is white women at 5%.
Message.
You on mute, Jarrett.
25 to 5% is a big fucking gap.
Yes, it's 20%. It's a 20% gap.
Big gap,
right? So we're talking about 5 times more. It's been 5 times more. When also Black women are paid 65 cents to a dollar for every dollar that a white man makes.
Macy!
Get the baby.
You preaching?
You get the baby.
There's a lot of.
And wait, hold on, Natalia. Because you preaching so much, Jarrett, you know what time it is? We in 4th period.
Shit, we might have 5th period. Economics. We did 4th period. We did history. We did racism. We did social injustices.
We in 5th period. Right? Go ahead, Natalia. We just gotta make sure we tracking you with the periods.
No, I appreciate it. But there's so much that we could do if we just harness the power of our own community. And it's hard, right? Because at the same time, and this is something that I learned at Mailchimp, like the Black and brown community, most businesses are self-funded. So that means that they're either taking their own money or so credit cards, their parents' money, grandparents, aunts, uncles, right? I think I just read in 2023, I think Black women had less than 1%. I think it was 0.34% of all the VC funding. So it's hard. It's a couple things. I think it's one, just knowing how to get those resources, which is why I think your podcast is so important, because it helps bring to light the resources that are available. But I think also from a technology perspective, starting to understand how things like funding work, how things like equity work. There's actually a really good documentary. It was you're right. You're right. You're on it, Jaden. You're on it. What is that documentary called? I think it's called The Barber of Little Rock. It was actually nominated, I think, last year for an Oscar.
Nice.
About just the financial desert in Black communities. So even if you want to get funding, there's no place for you to get funding. And then if you want to go, how many people know that there are VC firms available that you can actually pitch your idea to? There's just so much that I think I feel compelled to pay forward to I didn't know it, but I want you to know it so that you don't make the same mistakes I do.
Jarrett, I think we might have to open up another company. So Natalia, be clear. No. And let me tell you why I said this. Hear it out my mouth, because I don't care. We already established that we're gonna open a multi-service center that is true to education, true to opportunity. Ain't no fucking chasing your tail in a circle. You want to learn how to do something, you come here, classes on Monday. We're gonna have a curriculum, we're gonna have this. But I think we might have to open, Jarrett, a nonprofit. You understand what I'm saying? Because it is so much that we have to do for our community. Here's the thing. It's not being done. And if we don't do it, we have to hold ourselves accountable. Then we cannot fucking complain. Natalia, I'm gonna say it again.
Right.
If we don't take the reins and personally try to make it better, then we have no fucking business complaining about the situation if personally we are not doing anything to make it better. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. Hayes says something, and I want you to yell at him, Natalia. Hayes, I got your ass right now. Hayes said, being natural would save a whole lot of money. Get on him right now, Natalia. To my dad.
I still spend money. I am natural.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah, you.
Until wifey come through on a late, y'all go out and she not beat or nothing like that. You be like, what happened?
If I ever see somebody with their face beat, I'm gonna tell you, I'm going to go to that.
That's crazy.
No, Natalia, no. We talk about this. What is one of the biggest sayings that they say, right? One of the most powerful commodities, if not the most powerful commodity on earth, is information.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And what's one of the sayings that they say the most? They hide information in plain sight in a book because we don't fucking read.
I know.
You understand what I'm saying, Jarrett? You feel me, homie?
Talking that talk,
right?
bro.
But this is what we're talking about, right? Imagine, Natalia, if there was 1,000 Natalias, and I mean 1,000, right? Because that's how many people are in like a 2-block radius in urban neighborhoods, right? 1,000 little Black girls that had the opportunity at just information.
Yeah.
You know how many, even if they all don't take it, do you understand? It's all a numbers game. Statistically, it says the more information, the more opportunity, the better the outcome. Plain and fucking simple. That's why, once again, you get one. See, once we take 2 steps forward, right? You see what DeSantis is doing in Florida, right? This is what I'm. Yeah, look at your face, right? In plain sight, because they can't hide it anymore. Yeah. They cannot hide it anymore because they're so disgusted at what we're becoming. They have to do anything and everything to slow us down.
Yeah,
slow us down and to shut us down. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why we don't give a fuck about clickbait, Natalia. We don't give a fuck about no goddamn scandal. We don't give a fuck about who you dating. And you understand what I'm saying? Like, we don't care about that. We care about the impact because people need to hear what you're talking about because they can look at you and say, she's a C-suite individual. She got dreadlocks. She looks like me. I can relate to her.
Or she got fired from 2. I got fired from 2 jobs.
Thank you.
Yo, I was there. Yo, what? I was just left Bloomingdale. You was there.
Thank you. Thank you. How many Bloomingdale's employees were there? How many Macy's employees were there? Right? And you said something very powerful. She said, I didn't get to wear this hair until recently. So now if we step back and I go, what age did you start working, Natalia? What age did you have your very first job?
I mean, very first job was 15.
Thank you. So we're talking, so in New York, we call that summer youth program, right? Yeah. Right? Legal working age, 14 years old. And then you say, let's just fast track 2 decades. And then you say, now I get to do this.
Yeah.
That's a message.
But but when you say you made me feel, do you still subconsciously feel like, yes, you're comfortable to do it, but it still plays a role? Like, right, you say you feel comfortable to be yourself. Like, for instance, I'll give you my example, right? When I'm talking about the Hootsuite, right? Yeah. When I first came into Hootsuite, sis, I told you, I was the first person. We're on the town hall. Tom Kaiser, shout to Tom, man. So I'm on the dream looking at 700 faces on a fucking Zoom. Nobody's got a hat on. I'm sitting there with a hoodie and a hat on like this. Guess what? The next one, 2 weeks later, motherfuckers had them cocked to the side. Motherfuckers was like this. I'm looking at dad hats, all the fucking Kangos for the old school heads. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, okay, cool. And then people I've had people that were gay at Hootsuite. They were like, yo, bro, thank you for being you because you're giving me, the power, the courage to say, yo, look, I just came to my team and told them who I am and what I'm about. And they all accepted me with open arms. Thank you for doing that.
Message.
Yep. It is.
Hootsuite.
Yeah.
They couldn't even do that, right? So, but on the flip side, right? Did it have a negative impact? I'm doing all these positive things to change the mindset, right? But when the first time it's time to go and you start looking at them numbers, even though my numbers are fucking high, who they got rid of? The brother with the hat.
Right. But we've, Jarrett, you've made the decision. I've made this decision. I'm telling you right now, I don't listen, hear it from me. I'm the sacrificial lamb. I don't give a fuck. I already know I'm the sacrificial lamb for my country, for my family. I already know I'm the guy that got to run over the hill, get shot with a bunch of arrows, and come back and be like, they over there.
Yeah. Birds.
I got 50 arrows in me. But somebody has to do it. Cannot be progress without somebody sacrificing. It cannot be progress without somebody sacrificing. Too many people have sacrificed for us to even have this fucking platform. Yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah. You know how many people lost their life, lost their families, lost everything for us to even have the ability to create something like this. Yeah. We owe it to them to keep going. So guess what? I've already accepted the fact that change might not come in my lifetime and it might not come for me, but I've accepted the fact that I know what I'm doing will impact future generations behind me because I have kids and Jarrett has kids and anybody that has children that are coming up behind it. And you are auntie. You still got, you know how dope aunties are in children's lives? We love aunties. Aunties are the fucking best. You understand? Yeah. So once again, somebody has to be the sacrificial lamb. Somebody has to set the example for others to follow. If we don't do this for each other, for the culture, then we will fail.
Yeah, but did you? And I'm still like, did you have that moment? Do you still think that plays an impact? You bringing your natural self to work, even though you're C-suite, do you think it plays a role?
I feel like now I'm just like what do they call it? A mystery wrapped up in a conundrum to most people. Like I don't like the words that are coming out of her mouth don't match what I'm seeing. I can't tell you how many interviews when I used to do a phone interview and then show up on screen and you're like, oh yeah, I'm Black. I'm sorry, did you not know that? So I feel like
but your name is Natalia, not Sharika.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Natalia, I don't know.
Natalia is a very common European name, also, right? It's a very common European name, yet Natalia, right? Yeah. So I'm just saying
it's true, and I understand the privilege with that. I do, I do. But I will say now, no, I don't think it has any impact because the people that I'm talking with understand my the history of my career. Yeah. And they're like, all right. Like, even if they're like, all right, I don't like it, but I can look past it because she's gonna make me money. You know what I mean? So like that
was real. That was real. Sis.
Oh shit. It just fucking hit me. Natalia, you know what example we can use of this? Jay-Z. What are you talking about? When Jay-Z came out, what are you talking about? When Jay-Z came out, he had a fucking Caesar. Big clothes. Hold on. Big clothes, baggy clothes. When Jay started getting some real money, the first thing he did was baggy clothes. I'm too grown for jerseys. Wear a button up, right? Started to refine himself. Still had a motherfucking Caesar, though. Still had a Caesar. Now that he $1 billion hove, now it could be Bob Marley.
Exactly.
Not even. Let's keep it on it. Not even on some Busta Rhymes shit with like clean, dreads, perfect. You can see my scalp. I'm talking fucking Rastafari. These shits that going to do what they want to do shit. But look at the level he did it at. He didn't do that shit when Reasonable Doubt came out.
No.
He been following that Rastafari fucking, like he been on that. He been following the Rastafari lifestyle, on the teachings of Rastafari, of how to live your life. He been following that.
You need that leverage first.
Thank you. Say it again,
leverage first. You need that leverage first. You got to know where you are in the game. You got to know what level you are in the game.
Thank you.
You might be on level motherfucking 2. You can't do that.
Yeah.
But when you're fighting the big boss, you know what I mean? The whole goal, and a lady said that. Shout out to Dr. Teresa. Talking about fighting the big boss. She said, you know what? She said, I'm gonna send you the clip too. She said, yeah, you know what? I know I'm fighting the big boss. I know what I got to do. I got to change who I am when I go into work. I may not be able to wear this. I might not be able to wear the hoop earrings. I might not be able to do certain things. But guess what? I'm performing at a very high level. And guess what? I'm 45 years old and I'm about to beat the big boss and retire. Yeah. So she's like, you got to just see like what matters to you at that moment. So like even for you, since we had the conversation off camera about the entrepreneurship versus the entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Right? Like where do you feel like you can have the most value in? And it's like, do you want to play the game? But if you play the game, you're going to have to eat some shit. You're going to be the sacrificial lamb. You're going to see the shit in the meetings that we don't fucking see. And you're going to hear the shit and be like, this person's really an asshole. And I'm going to still smile. I'm going to take the executive board pictures. I'm going to be in them little fucking them gatherings and shit. I'm going to do all the shit. I'm going to shake hands, kiss babies, and do what I need to do. And then still not be valued the same way as everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you something, Natalia. Let me make you laugh, right? So, one of the major so I came up in Local 79, which is the laborers union. I came up as an apprentice and worked my way up to shop steward and then foreman. And foreman in the union aspect is the highest you can go.
Yeah. My dad was a foreman too. Yeah.
Watch me now. I still got my shop steward book, etc. I would look always at what's called the executive board, which is the guys that run the union. And then I would look at the international, which controls that, right? And I said, holy shit, I've been in this 10 years, 12 years, 13 years, and the same fucking people are sitting in the same fucking seats as when I came in 13 years ago. And none of them, let me say it again, none of them look like me.
Yeah.
And when they do change, and when they do leave, they don't leave, they just change seats. Okay, now you do this job and I'll take this job so you can get the higher pay and you can retire. And I said, holy shit.
Yeah.
This fucking game is rigged.
Yeah.
Why am I, as a black and brown person, gonna keep busting my fucking ass when the ceiling is hitting me in the fucking head? When it's clear as day that it's only so high I'm gonna be able to go because they will not allow me to go higher because it's not a bunch of us up there. Yeah, so they allowed one of us to get in as what's called a BA.
Yeah.
business manager, right? Be a business manager, right? One, and then maybe one accountant, and then it's 17 of them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At that point, I said, I'm done. At that point is when I went back to school. At that point is when I left the union alone and became a manager and became like a superintendent and site safety and things of that nature. Because I said, why the fuck am I gonna keep busting my ass when I'm never gonna get the opportunity to move up? You guys are never gonna give up those seats. And they did give up those seats. They did give up those seats. And you know what they gave up those seats to? Their fucking kids.
Yes.
They're fucking kids. Their kids came up in this union. They put them in position and automatically gave them the cushy fucking jobs and the office jobs. And then when it's time to fucking play musical chairs, you still don't get the fucking seat.
Yeah.
They give it to their fucking children. And the cycle continues.
Yeah.
And the cycle continues. So that's what I'm saying, right? We have to realize our value.
Yeah.
And we have to stop being afraid. Look, I understand it, right? One of the biggest things that people, now we're not talking black now, we're talking people in general, are afraid of is change.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's change. Now, take change when you're a child, from a child to an adolescent, to a teenager, to a young adult. It's easy. You ain't got no fucking responsibilities. You ain't got no fucking bills. You still kind of running wild doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Moment you start getting responsibilities, your decision-making change. Now, oh shit, I got an apartment. I don't know. Slow down. Right? Hold on, slow down. I got a kid. Slow down.
Just got this Benz.
Right. I put this 500. Slow down. Now your decision-making change. And now when it's time to make that change, even though you know you should make that change, even though you know where you at is not good for you, you're not gonna do it because you're like, I'm too scared to lose everything that I fought for.
Yeah.
Everything that I grinded for, everything that I had to fucking beg, scratch, and cry and bleed for.
Yes. Yes.
I do want to say something though, too, sis. I want to tell you, I want to share my first experience with you.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. So if you sharing experiences, you know that's a new period.
That's a new period. We on
let it come up. There we go.
Yeah, you know, I talk about shit, but we had great moments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? So I remember when they announced you.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. First of all, you know me. I'm coming into Hootsuite with the hat and the hoodie, and I'm like, shit. I don't nobody look like me up there. You know what I'm saying? And the first person I spoke to was Maggie. Shout out to Maggie.
Shout out Maggie.
We love Maggie.
Maggie. She's in Brooklyn. We coming to see her next week. She's in Brooklyn. We coming to see her. So she's on the town hall meeting and she said something about marketing. She's like, yo, you know what I'm gonna do? After hour, we're gonna change this up and we're gonna give it a new fresh taste. And I was like, holy shit, she gets it. Text her immediately. And then me and Maggie built a relationship. When you came there, Maggie hit me up immediately. Was like, yo, you gotta be Natalia. I'm like, all right, what's up? I don't know what's going on. Then they made the announcement after. Then I see you with the dreads. I see you in Atlanta. I see you coming in. You look, it says, I ain't gonna look like you ain't here for no shit. You was like, I'm coming here to shake shit up. Like you just your whole vibe and energy. I'm sitting there like, yeah, boy, I can't wait to get you one of the reasons I wanted to come down there.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
I'm keeping it real. Like you.
Wait. He moved. I was
going through the process.
No.
I know, I remember.
Let me tell you, I gotta back him on this. He would call me and say, cuz I'm going to see 3 fucking houses today.
Yeah.
I'm going to see 3 different apartments today. And you know what? And a lot of people don't recognize this. And I didn't even know this shit. He said, yo, cuz, did you know that to see an apartment or put your application in, every application costs money? Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that because New York doesn't do that. New York is not like that. He was like, yo, cuz, I didn't even know that. But every application you put in, you got to pay for that. Mm-hmm. He went down there, took his kid, took his fucking girl down there, was ready to pick up and move his entire fucking family for an opportunity. This is how dedicated this man was.
And because 70% of that office was African-American and did not come from our space.
Oh, I know.
So, and that was the problem. So they had great intentions, but it was terrible delivery and execution. And the fact that we just hired black people and they saw the opportunity. Hootsuite's a big name down there. It's a big name in tech general, right? You get this opportunity. You're like, holy shit, I don't know the industry. I'm not. Who am I to say no to this? Right. I'm happy I'm in the door now. But guess what? I don't know this. They want me to sell this. They want me to sell that. Then they see Jarrett with the hat and the hoodie. I relate to him. Okay, cool. I can actually talk shit. Yo, Jarrett, what the fuck's going on? We had a real conversation. I got bills. I just brought the Benz, Jarrett. I can't lose this job.
Right.
And started closing shit. And I was like, yo, if I can get down there with you, the shit that we would fucking do to it just didn't happen for whatever reason.
No.
It was fucked up. But I do want to let you
No,
know.
not for whatever reason. That's
no,
not
it happened for a reason because
our
path is this.
Wasn't your path.
Our path is this.
That's a fact.
Yes.
It didn't happen because if you'd have did that, you wouldn't be doing this.
Absolutely. And this is our path.
True.
But I do want to tell you though, behind the scenes, how many people that I spoke to out of that office that you fucking inspired, sis.
Oh,
like straight up and down. I'm not gonna take that. Like there was a lot of people that saw you and was like, I got a shot.
There it is.
I can do this shit.
Oh.
There it is.
And that's real. You know
that's
what I'm saying?
real.
If nobody I'm gonna tell you.
Natalia.
Thank you.
See, here's the thing, man. You know, and that's why we shared this story about the guy contacting Jarrett and what he said to Jarrett. I might not like everything because there's a lot of people that will never meet you, Natalia, not only in person, but maybe even virtually, that you have changed their life already.
Absolutely.
And you have inspired already. And they might not never get to give you your flowers, but please, I'm begging you, believe that the work you are doing, it matters.
It's noticed.
Thank you so much.
We see you. We see you.
That's a fact.
I can't tell you.
And you in tech. How many? That's why we love Angel so much. Angel had joined on. I don't know if she's still on, but she had joined on Instagram.
Okay.
On Instagram. Women in tech. Not to say that you can't do it. You just don't hear about it.
Yeah.
Why do you not hear about women in tech? Are women stupid? No. Are they incapable of? No. But you just don't hear about it. So when you hear about a woman and you're like, wait, she's in the tech field?
Right.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. And I would say product is even just my background in product, even where it's product. I have had every person say this. You are one of the only Black people I've ever seen do product.
There it is.
There's one more guy. Oh, I can't remember his name. He's really good. He's on Twitter. I think his name's Andrew. But that's it.
Message. There it is. Message.
And I'm like, I can do this. You can do this. You can do this.
So this is the way that we inspire people to do it. First step, we bring people on that look like them, you.
Yes.
Not only tech, but success in general, right? Zoe and every Dr. Lena Horn, all the successful Black and brown women we can get. That's why this is Women's Month. We so far haven't had a male on this show because we are celebrating Black and brown women. So that's the first step. Let me show you that there are multiple women doing this in multiple avenues. That's the first step. The second step now is once you understand that, is getting in position and us giving them the information. So once they get the information, now we're not fighting each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Now when there's two of us in the room, instead of rivals, we are what? We're allies.
Allies.
Yeah.
I'm fist bumping you as soon as I come in the room, Natalia. Boom. Like, what's up?
Natalia, I know I work for you, but tell me what you need. This is the attitude we want.
Yes.
Tell me what you need. Tell me what you need to make you look better. Because when you look better, we look better. And I know that you're the big boss and you can bring in more of us. So guess what? I'm going to do not only whatever I can for you, but I'm going to go that extra distance for you. That in lies the problem too. A lot of times when we get in position and we bring somebody with us, instead of them fucking recognizing what it took to get there and working hard, they try to slack off and go, I got the connection. Natalia, my homegirl. That my neighbor. That my cousin. I ain't got to work.
Yeah, my cousin. That's real though.
My cousin.
Yeah.
And I ain't got to work that hard no more. And then therein lies the problem. So now, let's say we only get one ask, right? We talk about this all the time, building relationships. Let's say you only get one ask. Let's say your one ask was to bring on Jarrett. Jarrett comes through, hits a fucking home run. You get another ask. Because Jarrett is a fucking superstar.
Exactly.
If Jarrett turns out to be a fucking shitbird, you never get an ask again.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing with as a leader, and this is the hard part, is that you also got to handle that. Like, you know what I mean? All right, like, hey, you came in and I thought you were going to be a superstar, but look, you're not doing the job. There are, Jaden, thank you.
Jaden's on point, man.
I know he's on point. Like, you gotta pick it up. Like,
you gotta pick it up.
Yeah, because you're not only making yourself look bad, you're making me look bad. Like,
it is.
Come on. So I totally agree. Like, if you could help people like get in the door, I think that's so important. I would say for leaders, one thing that I learned from, I can't even remember which leader I learned from, so I give them credit, but is to do office hours. Like, tell your organization that you are available. So office hours is, hey, anyone in the company can come speak to me during these hours on this day. You can book it and we can talk.
There it is.
But like, it makes you available to the organization, and then it makes people who look like you have an opportunity to talk to you. Because sometimes they don't have that opportunity.
That's it. That's it. And you was definitely, she practicing what she preach, y'all.
Absolutely.
Because I would hit her on the Slack randomly, 11:13, no reason. Just what's up? Just for no reason. Just what's up? I just closed something. What's up? I haven't got time today. What up with you? You good? She was like that, y'all. Straight up. She's like that.
No, it's great.
But look how things, life is not linear, right? It's not linear.
Oh,
not linear, right? Look how dope this is. Jarrett, let's say you inspired Jarrett. Now look what Jarrett has created.
She has.
And now we can bring you onto the show.
Yes.
Do you see how this shit works, right? You see how this shit works, right? Look at you inspired Jarrett. He's one of many. Now Jarrett creates a platform that we can share your message. Watch this now. Not only share your message. Now that you're one of our guests, we're approaching our 100th episode.
Hold on. Let me get that.
Yes.
2 years, y'all.
Episode. Yes. Guess what, Natalia? On this platform now, because you inspired Jarrett and he created this, you now have a network of almost 100 people, almost 100 people so far that we have immediate. And when I say immediate, I'm talking phone numbers. Immediate access to. So now anybody that has come on this show, and we have a bunch of people that we would love to connect you with, like Angel. And
we already started. Netta.
Now look how wonderful this shit works out. Now our network becomes your network.
Yes.
Our resources become your resources, right?
Yes.
And now we can accumulatively come together and do great
things. Yeah. I mean,
this shit works out. Look how that shit works
crazy.
out.
It is crazy, but it's also blessed. The fact that you have this platform that people can access. It's huge. Like, it's huge. It's huge. And I'm so.
She's giving us flowers. Why would you press the button? Why would you press the button?
It was the tone. It was just. You got me on the side.
She was about to give us the. She had to be by the rim. She about to throw the layup.
Well.
No,
but
people love it.
Look,
it gets them going. Get some hype. What does that even mean? No, I'm sorry that you see, but let me tell you something. Right? Look, no, seriously, let's talk like brother to sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look how dope this fucking platform is, right? This ain't fucking ad week. This ain't no fucking. You can come on here and talk to your brothers. You ain't got to filter yourself.
Yep.
You ain't got to censor yourself.
Yep.
You can come on, have your dog, have your hair. We don't care about none of that. We care about the message.
Yeah.
Once we, as a culture, get past the aesthetics of shit.
Exactly. Yeah.
And get to the message, right? And this is why I'm going back to the Monique interview. It is not about the messenger. It is about the message.
Yeah.
Once we start concentrating on the message, we're going to be unstoppable.
That's true.
That's real.
And guess what, people? What y'all don't understand, and we're going to keep hammering it home till you understand it, is the government. Let me say it loudly. The government prints money. Let me say it again, because some of y'all fucking slow. The government prints money, which means they will never run out of money, which means you don't got to fight each other for money. There's always going to be an abundance of it. It's never going to fucking run out. And everybody, everybody will be able to do the same things in the same fields or in opposite fields and still have a good life.
Yeah.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Over here, man.
Sis, what now? You know, it was something we I don't know. We didn't get fully into it, but so one thing we always ask, right?
Mm-hmm.
We asked the mama I made it moment. I would love to get to that. What was that one moment in tech for you where you was like, holy shit, I'm in C-suite. I'm with
not even tech in your career.
Or just your life, your career life. What was the mama I made it
listen,
moment? All the hard work you put in to get to this point, and you were just like, I did it.
Oh, that's hard. Okay. So there's probably two. One.
Let's do it. That's 2 clips. Sis, let's make it happen. We going viral, baby.
One.
Hold on. Here we go.
Hey, period, y'all. Get ready. Get your backpacks.
Let's go.
I know. The professional was when I got promoted to VP in Bloomingdale. Here's why.
Okay.
So, one, I mean, it's a given. There's no one that looks like me. I remember having this conversation with myself and somebody else that was up for this VP position. And he and I are actually really good friends. And now, but he said to me, he's like, if you get this job, I'm going to quit.
Wow.
I don't want to work for you.
Oh, no, hold on. Message. Oh, you get one of those.
He told you this.
What?
Oh, yeah. This was over. I can tell you. This was over lunch on 52nd Street between 2nd and 3rd. That's how I remember it. It was at one of those bars, those Irish bars down there, right? And I was like, all right, cool. You think I want to work for you? I don't really care, but I'm gonna get this job. And I had to go through interviews with like what is the equivalent of the C-suite there. So the director of stores, HR, like the talk to the president of the company, who's now the president of Macy's. And I got the job. And I was like, oh my God, mama, I made it. Like it was right, like competing with someone and getting the job. Like it feels good to win the job. The second personal was recent. It was 2021, I think. I flew Delta One to London.
Hold on. What is Delta One?
Okay, so Delta One is like, there's first class. Okay. And Delta One is above first class. It's the section that they have for international flights where you get like the bed.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Netta. I done been around the world 17 times. I've never heard of Delta One. I'm just being honest. Jared, have you heard of Delta One?
That was like Air Force One. To say you out
there.
Wait.
Natalia, I'm about to say, nigga, Expedia doesn't even offer that.
It ain't on Kayak.
Come on, Expedia. Does Kayak offer Delta One?
They didn't offer me that option. I got mad points.
What website is that on? I've never seen Delta One as an option.
Yeah, what? Okay. In airports, they have a dedicated line. Like you don't even fuck with the other lines. They're like, here, this is for you. Wow. It has like the section where you have like your little room with like the bed, like the seat that goes down to the bed and the TV, and there's somebody always trying to give you food and drinks and like the pillow and the pajamas and the whole pajamas. Oh, this is great. And like slippers and stuff. Like they give you the whole thing.
Fire.
Yo, Jared, for our 100th episode, fuck it. We flying Delta One.
Go Delta One.
Book Delta One.
We got to pay some bills. We'll be right back.
I ain't even gonna put the merch up. We just got bills to pay. We ain't flying. We just got bills to pay.
Hold on, I'm just saying, if you get a job and you want to fly Delta One and you want your more than a title cup, I mean, what else is gonna hold? This is Grand Marnier. What else is gonna hold your Grand Marnier cold with one ice cube for 2 hours? Or your yak? What you drinking over there, Jared?
You already know. Right now, I'm drinking a little Don Julito. Okay, with a little bit of OJ. And what's going to keep it cold for 2.5 hours to keep you potting? But if you're going international, you need to bet on yourself stuff. You need the beanie. You need your cup. First of all, you need a brand. How the hell you going to get on Delta One without a brand?
Look, you might need a sweater because it might be cold. And if the blankets don't help, you might need a sweater.
Absolutely. There it goes. Get your merch. It'll come to you before you leave. I promise.
Listen. Well, you know what? Let's keep it 100 right now. Listen, since you flying Delta One, we will send that shit to the plane. Jarrett, we will send that shit to the plane for you. With concierge service, More Than the Title does offer concierge services.
Yes, for the right price.
For the right
price. We said a lot of brands today. We said Macy's, we said Bloomingdale's, we said Hootsuite, we said Delta One. All of y'all, send the check.
Send the check.
We're gonna break that down. 33.
Me and Jarrett travel a lot. We will take some frequent flyer miles. We take the
I'll take something, anything. Shit, we've been partying.
Yes.
At least don't charge me for the bag. A lot of times our bags is overweight. We got a lot of merch in the bag.
Shout out to Mika for the overweight bag. That's my baby.
Look, if you get platinum on Delta, it's free.
Yeah.
Free.
Oh yeah, Delta.
What?
Delta.
Free Delta. Shit.
It's free. Yeah.
Send her a check, Delta.
Delta.
I've never heard. No,
what was the experience though? Would you go on experience? Okay.
I'm not being funny. But this is what happens to the Black community. We never hear of upgradable shit, right? The good shit. We only hear the bottom grade shit.
Yeah.
That's why when we hear about the good shit, we go fucking crazy. Because it's like, oh, we don't got that. I need that because we look at it as a status symbol. Yeah. I've never heard. Natalia, I've been around the world 13, easily. Me and Jarrett have been out the fucking, I got so many passports. I normally take 5-6 trips a year easily without even fucking blinking. I've never in my life heard of Delta One, ever. No, seriously.
What?
Same way Jarrett said, some people in his neighborhood have never left Manhattan, never been to the Empire State Building, never been to the Statue of Liberty. I've traveled, we travel all the time, and I've never heard of no fucking. And we spend money. Jarrett, am I lying?
I feel wrong. I feel wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I had the company trips. They never put me on Delta One. They just put me on Delta.
Look. Jamie just responded on Instagram and said, "No way." Wait, Jamie, you ever heard of Delta One? Let me know, Jamie. Jamie's on Instagram. She said, "No way."
Yes.
I've never heard of fucking Delta One. It's not on
a UFO. They thought it was a UFO on
Jaden.
Instagram.
Jaden and Hayes is our resident researchers. Jaden and Jamie, I'm gonna kick your ass. She said I sure did. You blocked. Goddamn, when we grew up together, we was in Pampers together, we was missing teeth together. You ain't tell me about no Delta One. You blocked.
No.
She said you heard about it.
Look, Delta One is just the bottom tier. Where you really need to go is ETAD. So ETAD is the airways.
Yeah.
They give you you can have a whole room. Like it's like a little room with like your own like you see this TV over here? Like you get that TV on the plane. Like a little TV, you have like a double bed. Like not like a seat bed, a double bed.
This is bullshit. Jarrett, we've been cheated.
I'm telling you.
We've been cheated. we've been
bamboozled, hoodwinked.
Hold on. I ain't gonna hit Natalia. I'm feeling like Axel Foley with the banana in the tailpipe and Beverly Hills Cop. Oh no, don't you do it. I knew he was going to that. Don't.
Whoa. In the tailpipe,
I just said that. He put the banana in the tailpipe. That's what he did, bro.
Because we got content. Y'all know it's YouTube. Y'all know I should hit him with 3-4 buttons, but I'm not. But I'm not because Natalia said that's my sis. I ain't gonna do that.
Oh my god. No. Information. No, seriously. I'm not being funny. If you open your mind, this is why we hate that, what you talked about earlier about rich people thinking you can't learn nothing from poor people.
Yeah.
You can learn something from anybody on any given day if you open your mind up and you are willing to learn. I promise you, I'm gonna Google the shit out of this Delta One shit. I need, what the fuck have we been doing for 25, 30 years traveling? Now I feel like I should be pack myself in the fucking suitcase. Look, I ain't gonna lie. You want to, I ain't gonna lie. And if anybody listening to this shit, you already know what it is. You know what we think, like, for us, like, is the big thing for us. We got global entry. We got TSA. We skip that's what we be like, nigga, I got global entry, motherfucker.
I mean, that is good. That's good.
No, it's good, but I'm just saying, like, I got TSA, motherfucker. You stay in the line. I go over there to the shorter line. And that ain't even, we still getting on the same plane.
We fighting for the wrong things, brother. For the wrong things, bro. That's what they want. But I was gonna ask you too. That was the mama I made a moment. So you said flying Delta One, right? And then becoming a VP of Bloomingdale's, right? Beating out competition, meeting the president of the club, and like going through the ringer. For those people who don't know, like going through the ringer to tech, you have to go through several different levels, right? And you think one interview is easy. Imagine doing that for 6 people, reiterating the same thing, telling the same story, hitting the same points, right? Reading people's energies, right? How to say this, what should I say, what should I share? And you went through that, right? So, and from a professional standpoint, what is the one thing right now that you would hang your hat on? With this one thing in your career that you're like, man, I love this. And when they think of Natalia Williams, this is what I did, and this is what I hang out my hat on. What would that be?
That's a good question. I like that question, bro. It's a very good question.
Good.
You've done so much, sis. I'm like, the Mailchimp exit is crazy.
The resume is so crazy.
It's like you accomplished this.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, thank you. That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's funny. I don't. I would say Mailchimp, right? Because that was probably from an outside view, like the most successful part of my career.
Okay.
But I do have a special place for Bloomingdale's, and it's the people. And that's the great thing is, like, when you find a group of people that you vibe with, like
lifelong relationships.
Seriously, I'm still hanging out with those people. Like, it's crazy. So the ride at Bloomingdale's was definitely challenging, but it was a fun one.
Jaden, you better do it.
Jaden. Oh God,
Jaden, she's a beast. She's a beast, Jaden. She's a beast. We're gonna make the intro, Jaden.
No.
You know what? So okay, that's what you hang your hat on. So we talking about success. Another question that we like to ask because it's very important. And I don't want to get too personal, but you said you don't have any kids, but you're a very successful black woman.
Mm-hmm.
How has that success affected you in your intimacy life and dating?
Oh yeah.
How has that affected you in your relationships? If it's too much to ask, but we like to ask these questions because it's a very relevant point. You understand? Because they say with the higher level of success you go, the lonelier it gets because the people don't understand the grind. So I would like to know, your side on that, if you don't mind.
No, of course. It's true. Like, it's hard to articulate the grind to someone. Like, if I was dating someone and he was like, oh, like, why you gonna answer the phone at like why you working at 9 o'clock at night? I'm like, that's a regular thing. That's gonna happen. Or I can't go to dinner with you because I gotta go do this thing here, right? And so there's that. Yeah. There's also just being at a different station in life. Like, I hate this video on YouTube, but I can relate just a little bit. So it's this woman and this man on their first date, and he pulls up to the Olive Garden, and she's like, I'm not getting out of the car for the Olive Garden.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the breadsticks.
I love soup salad and breadsticks. Salad, breadsticks.
I don't understand. Olive Garden has the best fucking salad in fast food. What are you talking about? Whatever they put on it. It's like a balsamic, I don't know, oil.
That's what it is.
I love Olive Garden.
I love Olive Garden. I love Olive Garden. But
Right.
I use that analogy because, like, if I'm talking about, oh, I'm reading this book, or did you read this article, or, you know, I was listening to this podcast, and like you have to. I want someone who can be able to have that conversation with me, and that is also hard to find. And some of it is on me, like, you know, I'm a little controlling, like with my own life, like,
okay,
right. So, like, you know, and I think that's work bleeding over into personal life. Like, I wake up at 6 a.m. I work out. I walk the dog at 7:30. It is the same. Like, I try to be as disciplined as possible.
Yeah.
And so that's hard to explain to people too. So I think it's like a combination of a bunch of things. I think it's the grind is a lot of it. Yeah. The intellectual push that you always have to do. Like, I feel like in these roles, like, I gotta always be reading something. Like, if I don't, I'll become immediately irrelevant. And it'd be great to have someone to talk to about that. Some men are just intimidated by my role.
Message.
It's just,
I
can't do anything about that. And so it does get lonely. It does. But I think that if I actually put my mind to it, I could find somebody. The other thing is I'm lazy. I'm like, just show up. Like, you should show up downstairs. So it's also about putting myself out there too. Which dating is terrible. But yeah, I think I've talked to a lot of women where it's like it's hard. It's really hard because it's hard to find someone that isn't intimidated by the fact that you have not even my role. Like, you're a VP.
So I would be intimidated. I never heard of Delta One.
Hey, listen, you back in my good graces because at least you was honest, motherfucker.
Oh my God,
that was real. That was real.
That was good.
Hey, said shit, I'll be intimidated. I never even heard of Delta One.
Oh my God.
Hey, you ain't alone, bro. I never heard of Delta One.
That was a good one.
We in the same.
But you said something. That's a problem. I hear a lot of Black women say the same thing. And as a product developer, why isn't there something where we have communities and networks, but there's nothing specific for professionals in dating, especially in the Black community?
No. Like, there should be a Black version of the League. You know the League?
No, I never heard.
No, never heard.
The League is like a dating app, like a Bumble or Hinge or any of that.
Yeah.
But the League is top tier people. Like, so celebrities.
Hold on. So Jarrett, the reason we've never heard of it because we're not top tier.
Oh, please.
I might be in the league. I'm in a league of my own.
I bet you all the motherfuckers on the league heard of Delta One.
I'm joining.
No, those people take PJs. Like, they're not even on the Delta.
Okay.
But like,
small.
It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. But it's like, if you want to pay for it, it's $300 a month.
That's why there's not a league.
That's why
you gotta be an NBA player to get in that league.
That's a fact.
Like, no, thank you.
$300 a month. God.
No, thank you.
Damn.
Yeah, no. But like, you could probably find people there. Like, if you want to, or like social clubs like Soho House or like Chief or something like that. You can find people there too. It's
now,
just
Soho House we know about. We frequent Soho House.
Yeah,
we won out of 3. We
went
there
with the shoulders working like this. They didn't know what to do with us in Soho House.
That's a fact.
We be back down and shout out to the art of storytelling.
We went out of 3. Art of storytelling. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to Ken.
Oh my God! All right, I want to be your guest next time I come to New York.
Let me ask you this question, Natalia. Just to piggyback on that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard for you to meet people, but when you do meet a person, can you now, as a successful woman that has accomplished so much, right, meet a man and allow him still to perform the man role and step back a little? Is that a conflict now also? Because here's the thing, right? What if you meet somebody that you really like, but he's not on your level economically?
That's a big question in the
That's
Black
a
community.
big question
In our community. You ain't gonna get the brother at Burger King. He might have the heart of gold.
There it is. And let me tell you what.
Gold.
And we talked about this before, because men are attracted to beauty, right? The beauty of a woman. Doesn't matter the economic status, but more women are attracted to success. Big difference, right? Right. So how does that work for you now?
But I have my own success, so it's not like
no. When I'm saying how does it work for you, I'm saying if you meet a person that you're interested in, and maybe he's not as successful as you, right? If he's not as successful as you, but he's still a man, and he still wants to be a man to you. Can you allow that to happen if you're the breadwinner? And this is a big question amongst women now, that because there's a study out statistically about saying that women are now becoming the breadwinners and men are staying. There's a study out about this.
I saw that. Hold on, let me turn on some lights. This is dark as hell in here.
Yeah, we done went from light to dark. Yeah, this is the only podcast to do that.
Listen, Natalia, if you ain't turn the lights on, we just gonna throw on some Luther. You gotta let us know if you want the skinny Luther or the big Luther. The big Luther. There's a difference in the Luthers.
It's a house, it's a home.
House is a home.
Oh, I want the big Luther. I love it.
No, big Luther. She's not like the big Luther.
That's that guy.
You want the teddy bear.
I love Luther. Okay.
So how again, not again, this is not to be intrusive, but this is a major issue, right?
Yeah.
This is a major issue in our community when women feel like they are successful to a certain level, and they feel like now the pickings are so slim that they can't meet a man that that matches them or anything like that.
And what's happening in that process? The Black family is not happening.
There it is.
That's why we bring it up, because it's the Black family, the Black community, Black excellence, right?
There
so
it is.
How do we do that? How do we?
There it is.
Yeah, you know what? I'm fine with stepping back in certain things. Like, I was raised traditionally, so like, my dad, like, I don't think my dad. Well, no, my dad did cook breakfast once, but like, he'd be like, "What's for breakfast?" Like, you just like, "Oh, okay, so I'll go do that." But I will say, for me, like, I want somebody who could be like a companion as well. Like, I don't want to have to come home and then cook, and then you just sitting there just chilling like that. That's not okay, right? I
can get with that. I could
like go do something. I don't care. Just do something. I like.
Hold on, go do something is wild.
But it's okay to be motherfucking Stedman. A lot of guys. If you bringing in this open bread, I will rub your feet. I will have a motherfucking dinner ready, and I'll be chilling. I just got a pie from 5:30 to 7. After that, your bath water.
I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I even have the newspaper ready for you when you walk through the door.
Highlighted with the funnies.
Newspaper?
I can't. No, I'm not even talking that. Like,
right.
I shouldn't have to come home and clean up after you. Like, clean up. Do something nice. Like, I'm not one of those women that are like, "Oh, I need you to have rose petals and blah, blah." No, we in this together. Like, we partners. But at the same time, that doesn't mean, like, I want somebody that's ambitious. And ambitious may mean that you're a manager and you're ambitious. It could be like, or you're C-suite and you're ambitious. But like it's falling back on my heritage. I'm Jamaican. Like, we don't sit around. Like, so if I'm not sitting around,
but how low will you go?
Hello.
The running joke is Jay-Z would have still got with Beyonce if Beyonce worked at Burger King, because Beyonce is beautiful like Beyonce. But motherfucking Beyonce would have never got with Jay-Z if Jay-Z was the motherfucking would you like a double cheeseburger? Drop you, motherfucker. So ambitious means mental. I want to do better, but how low would you go for a person that isn't at that level yet? Just curious.
Yeah. I was in BBQ smelling like ribs. They wasn't looking. They was looking at me differently.
So perfectly. Let's use Jarrett's example.
That's real talk.
Let's use his example. He was in BBQs as a server, right? made good money, but technically he's working in a fast food restaurant. But that doesn't mean that's where he's going to end. He wanted to do better. He just didn't have the information. The moment he got the information, he quit his job and he started to elevate. So again, how low would you go? I'm just curious.
That's a good question. I never really thought about that.
Potting. We potting right now. This is
but this is real because as men, like I said, as men, we could see a beautiful woman. You could work at the fucking car wash at the register, and a guy would not care because if he finds you he's gonna do whatever he needs to do. But it is not the same in reverse. It's just not.
It's not. I'll be honest. It's not the same. It's not the same. And I don't. So it's funny. I have always thought of somebody who was on my level at any level that I was at, right? So like when I was entry level, all right, let me find somebody entry level to hang out with. So for me, it's just like, oh well, this is my station. I'm finding somebody that is comparable. However, I think that in the exchange, I think about just how some women might say, oh, well, I want somebody as successful because I want to benefit from that, right? I don't need that. Like, I don't need to benefit from whatever you like. Keep a check. Like, I have my own. Oh, thanks, Jaden. I have my own check, and so that doesn't mean that, oh, I'm gonna take your check and pay the bills. Like, we're in this together, right? So, which is very hard to find because relationship dynamics is somebody has to always be in charge, either the man or the woman.
That's real.
It's not define in charge, though. We have to be very specific on how we word this. Define in charge.
Are we just talking financially, like whatever?
I don't say in charge. I don't say in charge. So I want to hear your. But so define what you mean in charge.
So if I think about the dynamics I've seen, like a man will give his paycheck to a woman, right?
Okay.
And say, all right, pay the household bills with this. All right, cool, right? He's the breadwinner. Like, if we're making major decisions, he's ultimately the one that makes the major decisions. That's what I'm talking about in charge.
Oh, hold on. Hey, Hayes, you about to get your ass in trouble.
Fry his ass up.
Fry his ass up, Natalia.
Relationships when the woman is in charge never works, if we're being honest.
Hold on. And just to give you context, just to give you context, Hayes is Caribbean. So
he's from the island.
So
Saint Elizabeth.
Oh, come on, man.
Hayes, you about to get your ass into. You just got out of hot water, Hayes. You about to jump back.
Come on. Look, I don't know what relationship you've seen, Hayes, but I mean, I've seen it work. I've seen it work
right
with, hey, the woman's head of household, right? The man's head of major decisions. So like, all right, we're gonna make a big purchase, right? Like, we're gonna buy a house. We are gonna buy a new car. Like that I've seen like men be responsible for, where women's head of household. And I've seen that work. Like, beyond my own family, I've seen that work in like friends relationships, right? I've also seen it work where they have a conversation about their partnership. Like, hey, I'm gonna contribute this, you contribute that. That'll take care of our head of household because I want to contribute, just in the same way that you do, which is, I feel like, also a controversy because trying not to get canceled.
Cancelable platform. You cannot get canceled here.
How you gonna get canceled on more than the title? Nobody can cancel us. We own the IP, baby.
All right. But like,
we would not let it out if you don't want to.
We own the IP. This is the power of ownership.
That's true. Okay, so we're just gonna broaden it. Some people will say what's mine is yours and what's mine is mine.
Okay.
And that a partnership does not make.
Okay.
So like, if you're gonna be a partner to your significant other, you got to come correct in the same way they do. So like, I don't believe in the like, oh, give me some money for shopping. Like, I don't believe in that kind of, like, you need to contribute as much as he is, because that's stress. That is stress, having to support a household.
Message.
You should do your like.
Yeah, but would you be willing? I'm just asking. Would you be willing to accept a man as being the house husband? Right? Women. Well, just hear me out. I know you from a Caribbean where the man normally is the breadwinner and the woman makes the food and keeps the house cleaner. But times are changing. Would you be willing to accept a person that doesn't make as much as you? Right? They're ambitious, but they don't make as much as you. Right? But cook, they clean, they wash your clothes. When you come home, that motherfucking house is clean. Blah 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 blah. Would you be willing to accept a situation like that?
Yeah.
Again, just asking.
I would. Yeah.
Okay. Because the general consensus from a lot of women is no, they would not. They love to be in that. I'm just being honest with you.
Yeah.
Why do you think that you keep seeing those videos? I wouldn't go to Red Lobster on the first day. That's why, because the consensus is reversed. They would love for a man to be financially stable and for them to fucking sit around, lay around, go shopping when they want, and the idea is being taken care of. Plain and simple. Take care of me. You're the breadwinner. I'll take care of the house or whatever the case may be. I'm domesticated. But a lot of women would not entertain the idea if the roles were reversed. Do you think that is problematic for the culture? You're sending a mixed message.
I think it is, right? Because if you look at like Sexy Red and Sukiana and right, like
wait, before you keep going, we just gotta say
Hate it.
I'm saying like
same. Or even like, I mean, I love them, but like, Meg or Cardi, like the message is I gotta get my bag and like I ain't doing nothing and blah, blah, like that's not me. Like I can listen to that and that sounds good and you dance to that, but like my feeling is that for me personally, I don't want somebody to take care of me. Like I want someone who can and what I mean that financially, right?
Okay.
I want someone who can take care of me emotionally and spiritually.
Okay.
That's actually more important than financially.
Wait, you said sexually is not more important than finationally?
No, I said emotionally and spiritually. I didn't even talk about that.
You gotten too far, Biggs.
I thought I heard sexually. I'm sorry. Did you say? Okay.
I do it for the children.
Just always keep that in mind.
You know, that's a major part. Nigga, back the 40 out on you. That's very different. If you go to work very relaxed, that is a commodity.
Oh my gosh.
It is though, but
I'm not speaking on that.
If I can relax you, that's a commodity. If you go to work with the woosah, with the glow, with the Bruce Leroy.
And that's what the ladies don't. Is that brother at Burger King and BBQs with motherfuckers. That brother over there with dying for a shot.
Beat the brakes off it. Beat the brakes off
it. I just watched something about that. But you know what? That's all they can do. That's all they can do.
I love this right now.
You know why we have to have this conversation, Natalia? Because here's the thing. We're big on family dynamics. Let me give you the background to everything, right? We're big on family dynamics. And one of the biggest misconceptions is that the Black and brown family is better off without the father, the male figure in the household. And we are here to dispel that, okay?
Yeah.
The father, the man of the household, provides an integral, an irreplaceable commodity that the female cannot, and I'm going to say it again, you cannot provide what a man provides. Being in the household, as just his presence alone, the male figure is completely different. You know what I mean? So this is why we ask these questions, because they're spinning the narrative that now that women are being more successful, right? I know, so, and I know you read a lot and I know you research a lot. I know you're seeing these articles where a lot of women now are opting to be single mothers. They're going out, they're getting artificially inseminated, and they're saying, I'd rather do it by myself.
Yeah.
How is that helping our culture?
Yeah. I mean, I think that even in those situations, I would hope that those women have male figures in their lives. Look how many times I reference my own father in this.
Right.
Absolutely.
Podcast,
Right.
Message.
I was.
Hold on. Let's get it then. Let's get it. Hold on.
Message.
I was too into the drink. I forgot the board.
Right.
I got you, bro.
Right. Like, you know, having a mother and father, like having that unit, right? I think is integral for like your emotional development, like children's emotional development, right?
It is.
I think that some women are opting for that because as women, we feel like the clock ticking. Like you can marry, you can father a child at 75, right? So a lot of women are like, I've put my personal goals aside, because to fulfill my career goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now my window is short.
Okay.
Right. And so
I can respect that answer. Jarrett, can you respect that answer?
That's the truth. That's real.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
I can respect that answer.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like if I wanted to like have a kid, I have maybe a good 5 years left. Like, right. And so when you're in that situation and you want to bring a life into the world, I get it. Because I've thought about it. But I think it's important for even that person to have a male figure in that child's life, to be able to have someone that kid could talk to, someone that like that kid can see as a role model. Like, yes. There's a really good, actually it's terrible, but it's so Patrick Moynihan was a senator from New York
Moynihan, wasn't he Jersey?
No, he was New York. But he was like 60s, 70s, 80s.
Okay, because they got Moynihan Station, so that's what I'm thinking about it. So
yeah, that's from him. That's named.
Okay. We talking about the same person. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
He did this report. It's a scathing report. But people should read it. It's on Black people. So Moynihan was a white Irish guy.
Right.
And it was about the state of Black families. I'll see if I can find the link and I'll send it to you. But it was this report on how essentially the Black family was falling apart because of these reasons. And the report's not great. So read that on a day you want to get angry. The second piece is he took into account, like he only used like very specific examples. However, he does talk about like fatherless households, and I think he misrepresents how many fatherless at the time. I think this was in the 60s.
Okay.
Oh,
everybody want to see it in the chat.
Thank you.
It is right there. Okay. Anybody that want to look at that report,
it's in the comments, guys, on your YouTube.
I promise you, I'm gonna read that. I promise you, I'm gonna read that report.
Yeah,
not tonight. I have.
Not tonight. Don't get.
Oh, yeah, I'm in a good mood.
Yeah, don't do it tonight. But it's like it basically is talking about eugenics, because like the Black man's never going to be there for the Black family, so like the family unit is just going to fall apart anyway. So like, and basically we can't do the things that we could do with a broken, like we can't produce like success, and we can't produce meaningful and quality progeny because we don't have a full family unit, which I also think is bullshit. But I say that to say, back to what we were talking about with community, if they're like, I would, and I know a lot of Black men do this, I would say, hey, I challenge like Black men to be a part of like community. Like Chadeo talked about the like community center. Like there's so many kids that just need to see a successful Black man. Like that is a thing. Not playing basketball and not whatever, like not
Tell I was in the door.
You know, not a rapper and whatever. Like just someone who is successful and good at what they do.
Okay.
Like we just so like I hear you in like, yes, it would be better if there was an intact family union.
Right.
But we got to deal with the cards that were dealt, right? We're not going to stop women from having kids via IVF.
No. And again, the reason that I asked that is because it is a disparity. And the disparity is enormous. Okay. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, I grew up without my biological father. I was raised by what I would consider to be positive and negative men in my lifestyle. But I'm going to say all positive because even the negative shit that they taught me made me strong enough to survive the environment that I was in. But Jarrett is different. See, Jarrett grew up in a 2-family household.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying is Jarrett's situation is an anomaly because not only are his parents together, right? They're married, right?
Yeah.
Big difference, right? In our society, there's a lot of couples that are together 20, 30, 40 years that never get married. Ever get married, right? So me being I don't give a fuck what nobody says. I'm telling you me. I'm a phenomenal father. But I'm a phenomenal father that wasn't raised by a father to teach me these things. Yeah. But I am an anomaly. Life says if you're not taught something, then realistically, you don't learn something. You have to be taught something in a certain way to learn it, to understand it, to adapt it, right? So what did Hayes say?
Hayes, why are you trying to gaslight?
He's trying to take us to another. He's trying to make us.
All I'm saying is this, right? So when I bring up the family dynamic, I want to just leave it on one simple message, right? Even if the parents are not together, a mother and a father in unison with one single message on the child comes first, and we should raise the child with the child in mind and not us first, not our feelings, but what is most beneficial for the child will raise a better child than a child by himself. Because when I don't have guidance, when the youth, whether male or female, does not have guidance, where do you go for guidance? 9 out of 10, it's your environment. It's the streets. It's the people outside. And if those people give you the wrong message, then that is the message that you end up developing. That is end up using for your foundation. It is what it is. So that's why we ask these questions, because we believe that the family dynamic is being broken up on purpose because they don't want us to be strong. So that, right, these laws are deliberate to separate the black man from the household. These laws are deliberate to make the woman not respect the black man in the same way and things. To see, from what I gather, we need.
Oh, Jaden,
you understand?
That's it,
man. Because at the end of the day, right, it doesn't look. We still talking about the same thing, and everybody's missing the message. Unity, community.
Absolutely.
Unity and community, right? Once again, when we all come together, you get the better result. When we are separated and all doing our own things and fighting each other, then the statistics of us failing greatly increases.
Boy, partying today. We partying today. I ain't gonna lie. I'm starving though too, y'all. I'm sober now. I'm sober now. I ain't got no more Don Julito. Y'all rocking though, man. I'm like,
no.
We bring you back for part 2, sis.
Sure. I'll be part 2.
Before we get out of here, so we talked about the career, we talked about the family, we talked about the economics. Let's lighten the load. Right? What does Natalia like to do to relax, right? Because you can't be a professional, you can't be somebody's intimate partner, you can't, be the best for your dog without being the best for yourself. So what do you like to do when you feel that pressure and you feel like I need a day, I need to relax, I need to decompress? What do you like to do in those days?
So I'm just trying to find that out, to be honest.
That's real.
Okay,
like
that's a. I've and let me tell you,
never
in
heard that. That was
episodes,
mad
we've
real.
never heard that answer. Notice we said it almost at the same time. In almost 100 episodes, we've never heard that answer.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it
Very
out.
self-aware.
It is. Hold on,
Like-
hold on. We got to give the horn for that. We got to give
Very
the
self-aware.
And
Self-aware.
that, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
is 9th period, because she said I'm still trying to figure that out.
We
And
all
I,
are.
you know what, Natalia, I appreciate you being so candid with us and being honest enough and feeling comfortable to say that, because a lot of people, we've never in almost 100 episodes, Black and brown people majority, we've never heard that answer.
Yeah.
Not even one time. Not even close to that answer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm working with a coach, and one of the things she asked was like, what'll make you happy? And I was like, I know this sounds terrible, but I've never thought about happy. Like, I've always thought about next. And I think that's with a lot of Black and brown people. You're like, happiness, we'll get to that later. I gotta do this, right? And so now
that's
That's
that was powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
No, seriously, that was so powerful.
We don't think about happiness.
We don't think about.
We see the goal and this and that. Before you know, you're like, shit. When you get the bag, what do I do?
That's it.
Guess
like,
what?
think about,
Natalia, can I say this to you?
Yeah.
Here's the problem with that. I'm not saying, but here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
You work so hard, you end up being your father in the story of the man that I told you that worked so hard for his family and never thought about his own personal happiness, that he never got a chance to even put his personal happiness in front, because the worst thing that we can do is take time for granted. Time is the most valuable commodity we have. We do not, only thing we can say for certain is we all know we have a day.
Exactly.
Now, what that day is, we do not know. To take that for granted is the biggest travesty that I think that we can do as a human race. You need to start putting yourself first.
And I'm learning that. I'm learning it now.
Be a line in the sand where you say, Mama, I made it. Mama, I did these things. I've been successful. But if you do not put your happiness first, then what is it all worth? What is it worth?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was the struggle worth? What was the grind worth? What was the climb worth? What was the holding your tongue and I want to punch this motherfucker, but I didn't. What was it all worth if you've never got to your point where you're like, namaste. Your inner peace.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And I'm taking some time now to figure that out. Like, what does inner peace look like? And to your point, like, I'm like, I got here and I'm like, oh, okay, now what? What am I? What? You know what I mean? And my crutch is work. So my coach is like, you need to stop working. Stop working. Your crutch is work. And that's something that you just like, oh, I'm working, so I don't have to think about anything else. Be uncomfortable. It is like being uncomfortable is where growth comes from.
Message. And I'm gonna tell you, not only is that a message, but with you saying that, you
have my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
Attention. That's what I'm talking about.
I'll come back next time. I'll tell you about my journey. I've been figuring out whether I want to live in Mexico. So like, I'll talk about that later.
So listen, two things right off the back. Number one, let the people know where they can find you, because I guarantee you this is almost a 3-hour pod. And listen, there's very few people in 100 episodes that have gone 3 hours without any air and without any dead space. So you are one of the few that have done this. So let the people know where they can find you, because I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people that want to reach out to you, that want to connect with you. Where can they find you?
Okay, so I'm definitely on LinkedIn, linkedin.com/Natalia T. Williams. But you can also hit me up on email, natalia.williams@gmail.com.
We're gonna put it in the chat. Yeah, I got you. I'm gonna put it on LinkedIn and I'm gonna put it on the YouTube, y'all. So y'all have access. But once again, like we always say, if you're gonna reach out, don't reach out on no bullshit. You know how we do, y'all. Straight up and down. Don't reach out on no bullshit. If you wanna, learn from Natalia, you want to get business advice, coaching advice, just have a conversation, like-minded individuals, things like that, to build the unity and community. Like we said, right? You want to build those, then you reach out. Other than that, Come on, it's dead.
Respect this woman. Respect her accomplishments. Respect
Absolutely.
this woman's time. Right? We're giving.
Shooters gotta shoot, me. Shooters gotta shoot.
Do not shoot your shot.
Shooters gotta shoot.
Hey, you put the basketball down right now. You put the basketball down right now, Hayes.
That was funny.
That was hilarious.
We love him.
Thanks, Hayes.
No, we love him. And also, so that's the first thing. Number two, if you could put your number in the private chat, what we do with all of our guests, every single one of them, is we create a group chat between us three, because now that you've come on the show, our network is your network, right? And if there's anybody that you've ever seen on the show that you would like to connect with, and you would maybe, want to, talk to or whatever, we will personally make that introduction.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you.
And so, let's start that up. And also, if you're ever down in, now here you go. If you're ever down in the city,
always.
If you're ever down in the city,
I'll hit y'all up next time I'm there.
But if you hit us up, hold on, I gotta put the music on right now. But if you hit us up now, I'm telling everybody, if you hit us up now, God's sake, don't hit us up if them shoulders ain't ready to move now.
We be outside.
We'd love to make up. We'd love to meet you in person, because this is only the first conversation. We don't believe in just making introductions. We believe in building networks and building family. You are now part of the More Than a Title family. And we're going to continue this, and we're going to build what we're doing, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this.
I love this shit.
I did too.
This is what we do it for, man. Jarrett, so that's what
I love this, but we first of all, before we even tell them what's going on next week, once again, Queen, we rock with you. I'm proud of you. Thank you for the inspiration that you've given me in my career. Thank you for being the open arm. You could have been like, yo, I'm busy. I'm about to run this tag. I ain't gotta talk. Who the hell is this dude with the hat again? I don't know him, but it's like, I'm saying, no, you could have.
You always.
And that's why I appreciate you. And I'm gonna say I love you. I'm proud of you. Anything you need, we here, we on deck. And man, I just enjoy this, man. So I'm really, really grateful and honored you came through.
Thank you. I'm honored to be a part of this family, and I'm honored that you invited me to the podcast. Chadeo, new fam.
New fam.
Listen, again, it's mandatory. I'm not being funny. Like, it's mandatory. Right? We have to do this.
Yeah.
Because we are champions of our culture, and we are guardians of our culture. Mm-hmm. So we have to do this. And we don't give a fuck if nobody else does this. We're going to do this, right? Because you have to start with yourself. If you're not willing to lead by example, then once again, you can't lead at all. That's number one. And number two, if we can't help each other, we have no business asking anybody else for help.
That's it. That's it. On that note, man. Next week, we got Deidre Hudson, VP or CMO at Bloomingdale. I'm sorry if I messed it up, Deidre, but I rock you, my girl. And then on the 21st, our 100th episode, Erica Ford, y'all, activist, leader. She's one of the powerhouses in our culture, man. And we're gonna tell y'all right now, we're gonna do the interview.
And she coming through with the afro. She got an afro.
And she coming through with the pick. I'm about to get the Wilson
with the orange and all that.
You know what she get. Hold on. So every time you say her name, where's my damn sound? Where's my sound? I'm looking for my black. Black. Where my sound at?
I got to do 3 seconds though. 3 seconds. We don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black.
Okay, we're gonna do the remix. We're on the copyright. Woo.
Yeah, we on the copyright.
That was a photo finish. But she's coming through, and then we also got Lola Savage. Man, she was an international. She was one of the first people to pop over there for Afro Beats. Man, she's amazing. She's a model. She's an actress. And then we got Judy Jackson, who is the Chief Diversity Officer at WPP, one of the largest agencies in the world, coming through to talk that talk, man. So this is what we're doing, man. It's more than a title. And you know what? And at the end of the month, we're going to celebrate. We celebrate a lot of queens here like Natalia, and we're going to end off the Moments Month with our queens. We're going to have two episode with both of our moms on. We're going to bring them on. Mama, Mama, do what it do.
And wait, and let me add context to that. Natalia, let me make you laugh. We cousins, and both our mamas got the same name.
Renee's. Both Renee's pulling up.
Renee's.
Oh man.
It's the hood.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be the real, so I can't wait for that. And
Mama, I love you.
Mama, I love you. But we're gonna do this, man.
Don't play with me.
This is gonna be the real, man. I love this, y'all.
I just want to say, once again, man, thank you for the fans, man. Thank you for everybody on Instagram. Thank you for everybody on LinkedIn, YouTube. for the comments. Everybody that's been rocking with us again, man. Y'all rock with us for 3 hours straight. No gaps, man. We appreciate y'all. Understand that we only do this for y'all, and we only can do this because of y'all, right? It's the support that y'all give us that allows us to keep growing and glowing, like my cousin always likes to say. And understand, man, some days we don't want to do it. We not having a good day. Life be lifing. But we know that we do it for the greater good, man. For the greater good. Impact over metrics, man. It's more than the title, man. You know what it is.
We out of here on that note, baby. We out of here.
What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I've done it all, just one.